Hi, Jeremy. How
No,
are you?
very well, very well. Nice colors you're wearing.
That's my profile photo.
Oh, yeah.
That's my profile photo.
Okay, perfect.
Well,
I
I,
get
I
it.
think these colors are even nicer,
Oh,
don't you
those are really nice colors too. Yeah, yeah.
think?
Rain Hall, where
Hello,
information
sir.
meets music.
Hello, Sir Rudi Page. How are you and guests? Hi, everyone.
Well, great.
Hello.
Hi.
This is the
Hey.
great Wayne Hall I keep telling you about. I've been talking
Uh,
about. You see him live now,
Live and in color.
and he looks like his picture. Have you noticed that as well? I sent round.
Yes.
Oh, I've heard that a bit lately. That's awesome. In AI world, to look like your picture is great.
oh no. Uh-huh. I get
So,
it.
so, so we're not live yet, are we? So
Yes,
wait.
you are live on the Wayne All Show's YouTube
Oh,
channel and
Okay,
airwaves. So,
excellent. So what we're going to do is get moving. We've got
is Shanda
good to
joining us, Rudy?
get through. Sorry,
Is Shanda joining us?
I don't know. She's got she's got the link.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, we're live, so let's go in. There's a million people watching us, so we've got to hit the road.
Mhm.
Okay, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Volcano Awareness Month. This is a very important initiative put together by the Specker KPS Academy. And we also have a representative chairman of Avataring, and we're going to be hearing a lot more from Jerry Morelli. Dr. Gertrude Schott will be leading us through a lot of what the Specker KPS Academy values are. And in fact, first for Montserrat globally, we now talk about Volcano Sankofa education. So we'll be talking about that. We'll be talking about the blue economy and what that means. Talking about the minerals that are on Montserrat and how important that is for the growth in the future. And so we'll be hearing a lot about that over this hour and a half. So Wayne, we are really looking forward to this. And thank you for joining the platforms. And of course, all of this will be rebroadcast on Special FM Radio London. So thank you for the Wayne. So what I'm going to do, first of all, is just give you some background information to the Volcano Awareness Month. So the Volcano Awareness Month, in fact, is endorsed by Premier Rudi, the Minister of Health, Education and Social Services, that's Minister Yvonne. Also, the Parliamentary Secretary, Minister Princeton, Yvonne, and also the Minister of Agriculture, Minister John Osborne. So with this new initiative, we've made sure that we've got the public support through the government, but also through Avatari. As I mentioned, you'll be hearing a lot more about the massive project that they've outlined for Montserrat, which involves 5 pillars, which focus on energy, industry, compute, destination, and blue economy. So you're going to be hearing all about those sections, important sections that enable the economic development of Montserrat in the future. Also, as mentioned, we'll be hearing more from Dr. Joseph Scott as we'll be going through the space pathway, sorry, not the space pathway, the Specker KPS Academy. And that's based on the Volcano Sankofa education. So that's looking back to go forward. And of course, Montserrat has an interesting history now, because we now talk about before the volcano eruption, in July 1997, and then post volcano, which is focused on community economic development, sustainable livelihood, national development, and cultural exchange. So what I'd like to first do is just give a quick overview of the background to the Volcano Awareness Month. So the Space Pathways Ecosystem Creativity Award, T-Cell Primary School, Stream Academy, is proud to announce the launch, or I should say, was proud to announce the launch of the inaugural Volcano Awareness Month. So we actually launched it on the 1st of July. So of course, on this platform, many of you will be hearing it for the first time. So in fact, this initiative spans right through from the 1st to the 31st of July, 2026. But also what we have done, because there are places, both communities, cities, both online and face-to-face, we've actually said that throughout the rest of the year, we will actually be doing a Volcano Awareness Day. So between now and the end of the year, we will be having Volcano Awareness Day in Birmingham, Manchester, in North America. So we're looking to have Boston, Atlanta, where the Great Wave Hall is, Hartford, Connecticut, and Toronto, Canada. Because we believe that it's important to take an inclusive approach to such an important initiative for monstrosities and their descendants, and families and friends. And of course, most importantly, with this inclusive approach is to reach out to all communities wherever they are in the globe. And of course, at the end of this program, we'll be able to tell you if you're interested, how you can connect, and if there's any other ideas that you have for this approach, then we're open. This is the first one. So the aim of this month is to serve as a catalyst to mark the 31st anniversary of the Sophia Hills volcano eruption. Other activities will take place on selected days throughout the month, and Dr. Schott will actually take you through the month of activities. We've already had a number of what's called conversations, and it's been really interesting and to hear those stories of families and friends of Montserrat who have been dispersed all around the globe over the last 30 years. As mentioned, we take an inclusive transnational approach, and this will become an annual celebration that will engage children, youth, students, families, neighborhoods, and communities across Montserrat, the Caribbean, Africa, Ireland, United Kingdom, of course, across North America, which includes the USA and Canada. The Volcano Awareness Month proposes to underscore the significance of positioning the Montserrat volcano as the foundation and springboard for the sustainable development of Montserrat. Such a launching point embraces and supports cultural heritage, knowledge generation, and strategies for social, economic, and national development. And of course, we're very much about fostering adaptability and fortifying resilience. The initiative specifically includes school groups, university students, and one of our main groups for young people, they're actually called New Legacy, led by President Sandre Thomas. We're also aligned ourselves very closely with the Montserrat Volcano Observatory, and you'll be hearing a message of support from them a bit later on. So as you can see, or as you can hear, in fact, that the Volcano Awareness Month is designed to ensure that the volcano is recognized as an important element for redefining home for those who have been displaced by the eruption, the uprootedness, and resettlement. And we will, of course, recognize throughout this program that there has been serious implications for some people, both from a personal community and family. And that's why we built into this series of activities is that focus on resilience, but also well-being. So we actually have sessions around mental health and well-being and the impact and how people have recovered and how people have recovered and thrive. Another important element, and you're going to hear in a moment, the whole program also uses geographical information system, GIS. So that's about digital mapping, satellite imagery. All these digital things are really important for Montserrat. And we're looking to actually produce a digital twin of Montserrat. And again, you'll be hearing some of the ideas from Avatari, how we're going to achieve that. And the purpose of ensuring that we have we're using the digital technology because when you use those technologies, you can preserve the place-based identity, those areas that historically maybe are no longer in use, and some of the new areas where the future development is going to be the country. We use GIS for exploring the blue economy. As mentioned, we're going to hear a lot more about the blue economy and what that actually means for Montserrat. Also, we'll be talking about encouraging the creation of app products as well. And of course, this initiative is designed to advance the creation of the entrepreneurial spirit that is inherited in Montserrat. So what I guess I'm really saying that this initiative has at its disposal a number and a variety of educational tools, with storytelling, collective memory of the identity.
We lost audio.
Your
I lost
audio.
your audio. See if somehow you mute yourself.
Okay, on this end, it looks okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, a little better. It's been not such good sound quality as to my ear anyway. But
okay.
Yeah.
Yes, this sound need to be fixed.
Yeah, a little louder.
Little louder and
Clearer.
something's
And clearer.
yeah.
Okay.
I think that's sounding better.
I was having some problems the other day. Let me just double check.
I wasn't sure if I was the only one, so I didn't want to interrupt.
No, I was. I
Just
sent a message. We need to improve your sound quality, but I didn't want to interrupt you, Rudi.
okay. No, I didn't see it, of course.
Yeah.
Is this any better at all?
Yeah, much better
Yes.
now.
Much better.
Yeah.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
Speak loud and project the voice, I think, is the trick.
Thank you, sir, for that lesson. I needed it.
Yeah.
Never too young to learn. That's what I say.
Yeah.
Right. So, having said all that, what I'd like to do is just show a couple of just to show a video, in fact, and let's see how this works now.
for Volcano Awareness Month, and also to praise the work of Space Pathways Ecosystem Creativity Awards Kinsale Primary School project in organising it. My name is Colin Philp, and I serve as the President of the British Interplanetary Society, the BIS. As an introduction, the BIS is the world's oldest space organisation, formed in 1933 by the pioneers of British astronautics. The Society is the first organisation in the world to design spaceships. Our visionary engineers and scientists originated many of the pioneering concepts in spaceflight, from a lunar lander designed in 1938, as a lunar spacesuit, and the first engineering study of a starship, Daedalus, in the 1970s. Early members included Arthur C. Clarke, the visionary and science fiction writer, who in 1945 first devised the concept of geostationary orbit and communication satellites of great relevance to us tonight. The BIS also has a strong educational remit. STEM is built into our society, as the core of our work is the science, technology and engineering of astronautics and space exploration. We have a very active outreach aspect, and we encourage and inspire young people to get involved with us at all levels and find careers in the rapidly expanding space industry. So I'd like to link the theme here tonight with that of space, and how space infrastructure plays an increasingly important role in our lives. In particular, and very relevant here, is remote sensing from satellites in Earth orbit. The eruption in 1995 was monitored in real time and in detail from space, facilitating accurate environmental surveillance, and weather satellites are also hugely important in monitoring another threat to Montserrat, hurricanes. Satellites observing the island at the time of the eruption, including those operated by the US National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, and orbited in both geostationary and lower sun synchronous orbits. The satellites were able to accurately measure many factors, including the extent and direction of the ash plume, with instruments monitoring atmospheric motion and many other factors. Ash height at the time of the eruption and in the hours afterwards reached around 15 kilometres. We also acknowledge the vital work carried out by the scientists of the Montserrat Volcano Observatory, with its monitoring and researching, along with its educational and advisory role. However effective satellites are at providing data, the observatory staff on the ground are on the front line in monitoring the activity of the volcano. To conclude, I admire the spirit, the courage and the resilience of the people of Montserrat and your ongoing efforts at the redevelopment of your island community. Thank you again very much for inviting me to this evening, and I wish you every success with Volcano Awareness Month.
So that gives you the essence of where we're coming from, and the move into the digital and space world of the Volcano Awareness Month. And I believe we're the first Caribbean island to develop a program from the grassroots in this way. So that's really important. I'm now, before we go around to have more discussion, just going to have a word from our young people, which I think is quite important.
Children's role in national development.
Michael, do you think that children can play a role in national development?
Can you put up the volume, please, Rudi?
After all, we are tomorrow's leaders.
No.
As they say, the future is bright, and time is passing by so quickly.
That's so true, Michael. It's July 1st, 2026 already. It was just the other day we were in year 1, and look at us now. We're preparing for our GCSEs.
Yes, we are indeed. That's why we need to have a very good education. I mean a good quality education.
We need to be highly skilled too. There are many global problems that need addressing.
Problems like what?
Climate climate change, food shortages, water shortages, financial problems, changes in the technology used, and the list goes on and on. A proper education can surely help to solve these problems.
But the majority of children today are not equipped to deal with all these challenges. So how will nations develop to help future generations?
Good question. We the children have to make our voices heard.
Yes, let's get moving.
We are the next generation innovators
and
problem solvers. We are the ones to help build a sustainable society. We are the ones who will preserve our culture and traditional values.
Thank you. I'd now like to call on Dr. Schott to give us an overview and an outline and tell us about the stream, the KPS Stream Academy and the Volcano Sankofa education program.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Can we see you?
Who do you want to see? Good evening, everyone.
We're on YouTube as well. So.
Uh-oh.
TikTok, YouTube, Facebook.
Oh,
the world
really?
is watching.
Oh, my word. Where do you set me up? Okay. Where should I begin? Let's start at the very beginning because that's a very good way to start. And at the beginning, I mean Kinsale Primary School. You may wonder, well, what is this Kinsale Primary School? And why is Kinsale Primary School, other than any other school in Munster, involved in this program with Rudi? So I just want to say we began as the Kinsale Primary School project. Now, this project is a collective expression that we have used to describe 20 former students of the Kinsale Primary School. I was the head teacher at the Kinsale Primary School at the time when the volcano struck. So I coordinated the project, and because we were the first school to be directly affected by the volcano, on a daily basis, we were in the thick of things. Phreatic eruptions was the order of the day. So because we were all scared, we really didn't know what to do. And I had the thought, I love creative writing. Sorry. I love creative writing a lot. And I decided to do a creative project. I discussed it with the teachers and the parents, and I said, let's have a creative writing project to see if we can use that to help us to deal with the onslaught of the volcano. The parents agreed, the teachers agreed. Now we had to get the students on board. So within that project, we had essay writing, what we call composition. We had poetry writing. We had dance. And Rudi Page was our dance instructor. We had loads of music. And during that the first few months of the crisis, imagine, it was ashing constantly, but we were still able to have concerts during that time. We made songs and we sang so as to help us to deal with the crisis.
Wow.
And we also wrote poems. And 20 students, when I looked at the poems that they had written, I said, oh my, these are so good, let's publish them. Because we encourage them to speak of how they feel. What do you feel about the crisis? Speak to the volcano if you need to. And they did speak to the volcano. I noticed Shanda is on the line. So Shanda, if you can get one of those conversations ready, the one with Trisha and there, get it ready for us, because I think this is very important to show how what we did, but what we actually did. And some of them spoke to the volcano. Others talk about the situation that was around. Others did talk about the spirituality that pervades the whole Montserrat society. Because as a Christian nation, everybody goes to church. So you had those themes coming out about people saying, "No, God will help us." And there was that general talk about Hurricane Hugo in 1989 leveled Montserrat. And it was like, okay, God took us through Hurricane Hugo, so he will take us to the volcano, through the volcano. So those were the kind of feelings that were coming out from the poems that were written by the students. And we had them published. We published them, and the title of the book was called Out of the Mouth of Babes. I don't know if I can show you, if you will be able to see, but can you see this? Can you see this book? No?
No.
Not quite, but
Not quite.
But if you hold it right in front of yourself, you can.
Yep.
Put it exactly in front of your face.
Yes, right in
I've
front
got
of my
one.
face.
So I'm showing it as well.
Okay, good. Okay, Rudi, you show it for me.
There you go.
Yes, and that was the book that we produced, Out of the Mouth of Babes. And of course, the volcanic eruption activities escalated. And we literally had to run from Kinsey School. We had 3 internal relocation periods. And I don't know how I ended up with a copy in my bag, but I did, divine intervention. And eventually, having relocated, had 3 internal, we had to relocate to London. And that was sort of, we thought was the end of the project. In 2023, Dr. Safia Fleury from the University of Hull in London, she was doing a research project on migrants to England to see. She did a comparative study with Vietnamese and Montserratian students to see, well, how they cope with it. And she wanted a copy of Out of the Mouth of Babes. I only had 1 copy, and I decided not to share it with her because I didn't want to part with it. But she eventually found a copy, and she fashioned her study. Actually, she used Out of the Mouth of Babes extensively in her study. And when I looked at how it framed her introduction, she used it as part of literature review. She used it as part of the analysis. And she used the book in her concluding statements. And I was saying, wow, this is awesome. We didn't know that this book would get this far. And right away, I decided I must get these students back together. Now, remember, this is 27 years later. And I was presenting the Dr. George Irish Lecture for Calabash Week in 2023. And during that lecture, I used the opportunity to invite. I put out a call, I put out my number, everything. I said, any student who was involved in the Kinsale Primary School project called Out of the Mouth of Babes, please contact me. And I was contacted by Joanna Richards, and Joanna and I and others who were connected on Facebook and other social media platforms. We got all the students, save one. And we had a meeting. Our first meeting was held on the 29th of August, 2023, 27 years after that first publication. And we decided then to regroup and do a second publication that would now talk to our journey, our settlement experiences, how we feel about being away from Montserrat. So in 2024, we had our second publication called From Babes to Proteges and Beyond. Rudi, do you also have a copy of that one?
I certainly do.
Thank you. Yes, and good. So we were babes in 1995 when the volcano erupted, and 27 years later, we moved on to be proteges. So from babes to proteges and beyond. And the response was fantastic. And again, the themes that came through: resilience, vulnerability, spirituality, strength of character. These were the themes that were coming through the second publication. The common theme from the first one was that spirituality, that connection to God, that belief that God help us all this way. So that was the intersecting theme in both books. But you can clearly see, we saw that the second book brought out other themes that show not only had they matured physically, but emotionally, psychologically, there was a general maturity and a general acceptance that here we are, away from Montserrat, but we can now speak of those experiences. So a number of poems in that book speak to who we are as proteges. So now we have the KPS project doing its thing, and enter Dr. Rudi Page. Rudi was the first person to give us airplay, so to speak, and he hosted us on one of his programs. He allowed us to talk about our stories. We even presented a PowerPoint, which I hope one of these days I will show to everybody else, because I think it's very potent. That PowerPoint, what it shows before and after, what the school was and what happened after. And what I think shocked not just me, but everybody else, that we were literally in the direct line of the volcanic crisis. We were in the line of the pyroclastic flows. We were right there. Had we stayed there, we would all be dead.
Wow.
And we only realized that after, when Jaron Phillip was creating the PowerPoint and we collected all the data, we realized how close we were, literally in the mouth of the volcano.
Wow.
And all of that, if you see the after photos, that tells you, I mean, just like you said, wow, that's the sort of expression we had when we found out that we were in the mouth, literally, of the volcano. There's nothing to see there anymore except maybe a big gray airstrip. All of it's gone. So all we have memories of yesteryear, and we decide we're going to use those memories to create. Let the world know. Use our creative powers. Let the world know. Here we are now, 27 years later, same set of students to talk about their experiences. And I like to talk about this particular poem that came up from one of the students, Kevel Gomes. Kevel Gomes wrote in his second one, his poem is called Out of the Mouth of Babes. He named his poem like the first book. And I was wondering, why would Kevel do that? But in looking at the poem and in speaking to him, what he was saying, had it not been for that first publication, Out of the Mouth of Babes, we wouldn't be writing From Babes to Protege and beyond. So he looked at that first publication as the foundation of our growth, of our progress to where we are today. So that is one of my favorite poems in the second publication. But like I said, we have other favorites in the first publication that I think I would like to read with Shanda when we have a space to do so. I don't know if Dr. Rudi wants me to continue, or he just wants a break here, or you want me to carry on.
I'm going to give you a break, and we're going to come back to that because we certainly want to read some poems. I will also volunteer to read a poem because I have my favorite poem as well. So, and we've got plenty of time. So what we're going to do, we're going to go over to Jeremy Morelli of Avatari, and we're going to spend the next 10-15 minutes getting the full background to Avatari, their values, and what they have in store for Montserrat. So Jeremy, over to you. You've got the next 15 minutes.
Wow. Okay. Thank you. What an honor to be speaking to you. And it's intriguing to hear these stories of, eyewitness accounts of when the volcano went off, and what an experience that must have been to feel the ash falling and the heat coming and all of this type of thing. So let me tell you a little bit about my company. It's called Avatari. There's a group of us that have formed together. Our goal is to help the world in the transition to clean technology, to sustainability, and to social and environmental justice. That's what we're trying to do. We have a couple of projects around the world. One of them is in the Himalayas, where we're putting a major development into a new smart city that's being built in the Himalayas in the country of Bhutan, on the border with India. And there we've got an assignment to put in a Formula E racetrack and to present this new city as being a leader showcase for electric and automated transportation. That's how the future will come to play. And we're going to build a convention center, a lot of hotels and so on there. So we're developing all with renewable energy, and in that case, it's hydroelectric, and with low carbon materials and methods of construction. In Kenya, we've taken on a project very close to my heart and to my other partners. They're working on it very carefully to regenerate about 10,000 hectares, 25,000 acres of mangroves that were decimated mostly from human activity and also from the sprawl, the urban sprawl and pollution effect of the city of Mombasa, around which there's many of these mangrove forests that have been reduced in volume. Now we've got the job to bring them back to life, and we're working with all the local communities, planting millions and millions of trees of mangroves. And one of the things about the mangroves is that they bring back the life. They bring the fish and the crabs and the shrimps and all the creatures that come and form this thriving biodiversity living zone around the roots of the mangroves, and it spreads out into the sea and up into the rivers. And so you get way more fish, way more, just animals of all kind. So it improves the biodiversity. And what's interesting about that project in Kenya is we are able to monitor, report, and verify the amount of carbon that the mangrove trees take out of the air and turn into the weight of the wood. And it's very important. Everybody knows, many people think that the tree grows from the ground and takes all of this volume, comes out of the soil. It's not. It comes out of the air. So the tree is pulling carbon dioxide out of the air, and that carbon is turned into the cellulose, which is the wood, and it releases oxygen for us to breathe. And so almost 98% of the weight of the tree is from the air. And so the way it works in this, what's called the blue economy, you calculate how much weight has been taken out of the air, how much carbon dioxide is taken out of the air, and different companies want to buy those carbon credits. And this can be considered a way to allow people to keep on polluting, but it's actually a way for sponsorship for regenerating nature. So this is one of our favorite projects. And what happens there, which we're going to do in Montserrat also, is that those carbon credits, you get, right now, carbon credits are going for about $25 per ton of carbon, but it's predicted to go up to $80 and $90 per ton within the next 10 years or so, as it becomes a very important commodity in the transition of the world to sustainability. We have to regenerate all our forests, and there's money to be made. So that money is shared. 40% of the profits is shared amongst the communities of the people in Kenya. So we have hundreds of people, who are doing the planting, and will eventually reap quite a nice benefit. So then a little bit about myself is that for several years, I've been studying how to improve construction materials, and especially how to replace steel in concrete and how to replace Portland cement in concrete. And this was one of my kind of projects for the last 5 or 10 years or so, where I was studying that technology. So the world has realized that we have to reduce the amount of steel that's used in concrete and reduce the amount of concrete altogether. It's a huge cause of the pollution into the air. 8% of the world's carbon dioxide comes from making cement, just from making it. Because what they do is they take limestone rock and they heat it up to about 1800 degrees and until it turns to this sort of dark black clinker. It's called clinker. As they do that, the weight of the rock, 48% of it is emitted into the air in the form of carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is very heavy, but it goes up into the air. And then the clinker that's remained is ground up into powder, and that is what is Portland cement. And then steel, as you know, you have to heat up the iron ore to very high temperatures, and it's a highly carbon intensive, energy intensive product to make the steel that goes in as the reinforcement into the concrete. So I didn't invent these things, but there is a way to make fiber out of the volcanic eruptive material. It's like glass fiber, and then that fiber, you weave it into rebar, and you can replace steel with the fiber from the volcano. And then the powder, the ash itself is a form of cement. And by adding a little bit of lime to it and grinding it to fine powder, it is a really good form of concrete. Okay. And so ultimately, by using the volcanic material that's on Montserrat to make fiber, we can make buildings using the fiber and the cement that's laying on the ground. We can build seawalls and harbors and houses and all kinds of things with no steel. And this new kind of concrete does not corrode. So I don't know if you've seen this, but I'm sure you've seen old concrete bridges or whatever. They all are crumbling, have got cracks. There's corrosion. You can see the steel is giving off rust and so on. So the average lifespan of a concrete, especially a bridge, because they're subject to the heat and the cold, the steel expands and contracts at a different rate than the concrete itself. So they separate and you get cracks. Once you get cracked, the water gets in, the steel begins to corrode, and that breaks up the concrete. So the lifespan of standard concrete's 30 years. The material that we will be able to make from Montserrat, it's hundreds of years. There is no corrosion that will be experienced by this type of concrete, and it can be hydrated with seawater. So you don't have to use fresh water to make the concrete. So when I got to Montserrat, I realized there was this incredible resource of the material. There's actually lying on the ground on top of the airport, where it buried the airport, there's about 100 million tons of very high value material. In my experience, it's high value. And so what we need is the energy to be able to make it into the fiber and make it into the concrete. So when you think of the volcano, maybe you think it's this thing that spouts off every once in a while, but in fact, underground, it's a boiling hot generator is what it is. There's massive amounts of heat underground at about 10,000 feet, between 10,000 feet and 20,000 feet deep. There are huge pockets of high pressure steam that's been heated by the lava and the magma that is from deep underground. And of course, eventually, sometimes the magma rises up and swells out the volcano and it blows. What we've learned is it seems to be in a sort of a cycle. It looks like it's going into a period of dormancy, but nevertheless, constantly there's this huge amount of heat underground. And now we have the technology where, many people think when you drill a well, you just drill straight down. In fact, there's lateral drilling where you drill down and then you change directions and you can go off. So from one place, you can drill wells all the way under the sea, deep under the sea, where there's these pockets of hot steam. And from that, we're going to harvest the energy. And so it's predicted. I've seen all the reports. I've seen the maps of what's underground showing where this heat is. And the prediction is that we can draw about 550 megawatts of constant baseload power from under this volcano. And just to put that in perspective, currently Montserrat operates, everything in Montserrat operates on 2.5 megawatts. And they're expanding with some solar. They're getting up to about 3.5 megawatts right now. And so under that volcano, there's 550 megawatts. We're going to start drilling for that, creating a power plant. The best place to drill from it seems to be between that St. George's Hill and Garibaldi Hill. Right there will be a power plant that is going to be a phenomenal gift to the island. And one of the things that I learned was that on the island and throughout the Caribbean, the average price of electricity for the home is 52 cents a kilowatt hour. What's going to come out of the geothermal, it'll be around 14 cents a kilowatt. So it's a huge saving for everybody, and it's a very worthwhile investment. But then you cannot get the guys to come and drill and put in the power plant unless you have somebody who wants to buy the power. I already told you that Montserrat operates on about 3 megawatts. So there's no reason for somebody to come in and put in a well and deliver 550 megawatts when the island only needs, maybe it needs 5 megawatts to grow for the next few years. But so what we need is what's called the offtake. Who's going to buy the power? And so first of all, this factory that we're going to build to make the fiber needs about 15 to 20 megawatts. And then there's several other factories that will come to the island because we're starting with that first anchor one, making the fiber. There's another one we're sourcing now that will make tile out of the same material. You basically melt it and it makes a glass tile. It's spectacular for flooring, wall coverings, this kind of thing. So we will bring industry to Montserrat where they can buy and offtake the geothermal power and produce products that can be exported and provide quite a lot of jobs for the people of Montserrat. And so then we still need an even bigger off-taker of the energy. We remember we can access 500. We don't have to get it all, but that's the capacity of that volcano. That volcano is a power station ready to be tapped. And so today in our world, the biggest consumers, of electrical power is the data farms, the data centers, where, which is basically a giant computer that is providing us with the AI and everything. So we have been in touch with what's called a hyperscale data center provider. The first one we approached was Amazon, and they remain as a candidate, but they will put in a 200 megawatt power consumer to be able to service the compute power that Montserrat will be a great beneficiary of that, but it'll be available to everywhere throughout the Caribbean. It'll be part of the plan to make sure that the Caribbean islands don't get left behind in this AI revolution, that all they need is the power supply and they can participate in the AI revolution. Of course, we can do it by going online and going on the cloud and so on, but having that on the island is a huge asset for the island. So that's basically what we're going to do, is create the power station, deliver the power, build the factories, put in the compute campus, and that will absorb a large portion of the offtake from the geothermal power plant. But then what happens is we've got enough to use a subsea cable to sell the excess power off the island. And what we've noticed is there's a very good network beginning where islands that have geothermal energy or have renewable energy can supply other islands. So Montserrat will have an income to its government to build its civic infrastructure from the sale of the power that's going to come out of the volcano. And now there's another thing. On that east coast of the island, there is the strongest trade wind in the whole Caribbean is on the east coast of Montserrat, for about a 5-mile stretch on the east coast. The wind blows 24/7 and it's very strong. And so we're also contracting with a wind generation deal, so where we can add to Montserrat's electrical power about another 50 megawatts. It seems to be possible. And so we're talking large amounts of power, large amounts of money, but a huge revenue stream to the island, which will come out of energy, and then the actual products themselves. So you might wonder, well, what do you do with this fiber? Because it is like filaments of glass fiber.
Right.
So there's the company that's going to come. They're called Rock Fiber. It's a wonderful company who melted the andesite. It's called andesite, but the name of that material that came out of the volcano is called andesite. They melted it and pulled it into the fibers and said, yes, Jeremy, this is really good stuff. We want to build a factory on the island. It's a company called Rock Fiber. So believe it or not, Montserrat is in the business plan of a large factory that's going to come and put its foothold in Montserrat. So they've invented a product called mini bars. And when I first heard about it, I thought it was like little miniature sticks of rebar, because that's what they do with the fiber. They make it into actual rebar, just like the steel rebar. But what he told me was, no, it's not. It's really small mini bars. They're about the size of pine needles. And so you take these mini bars, they weave the fiber into like little braids and then pull them through an epoxy resin bath, and they set into small pine needles. They're like needles. Now, these needles, you simply mix them into the concrete in the mixer, in the mixing truck, and pour the slabs or the columns or the beams or whatever, and you don't need to put any rebar in. Just these little needles produce an incredibly strong reinforcement effect within the concrete. Does that make sense?
Yes. The only question I would have there is, we imagine rebars as running from like a footer base all the way up a wall and out to the side. They make them up and out to kind of hold all the cement together.
Yes.
It's actually
we don't need that. We don't need that. It's gone. This is gone. And there's really good news in the future about this. But you pour this stuff, and it's got all these needles in it. So they all form in this sort of random matrix within the concrete. Nothing can beat it. It's much stronger than the long strings of steel. And also, we can use, have you seen these 3D printers that are printing with concrete?
Yeah.
On YouTube. Go on YouTube and look up Icon, IKON. We want that particular 3D printer. So these needles can be just printed. So you can print whole buildings with the needles. I like to call them needles, but they've got the trade name of them, and you will hear a lot more. They're called mini bars. Those will replace steel, and because of that, then there's no corrosion of the concrete, and because of that, you don't need to hydrate the concrete in the mixer with fresh water. You can use salt water, and in fact, with the material that the cement that we make from the island material, using salt water, it gets stronger. And even though it takes a little bit longer to cure than the Portland cement that we're all familiar with, it gets to a higher level of strength. And so now what Montserrat is going to be able to do is disrupt the concrete and construction industry with this new product that is low carbon. It's way cheaper than steel. You don't have to have all these crews tie wiring up the rebars and making these grills and all of that. You've seen them doing that, right, Wayne? You know, you have to tie the wires and put all the rebars in place, and then you got to make sure that the concrete must cover the rebar by 2 inches or 2.5 inches. It doesn't matter. So that 2.5 inches of concrete that is there only to bury the rebar and protect it from corroding, that 2.5 inches is serving no function in the strength of the concrete, and we don't need it. So the concrete can be reduced, steel is out of the picture, and then as much as we can use the material as the cement, we have a very good low carbon product. We can use a printer. You can cast it all around marine environments. It's no problem, and it doesn't corrode. So now we can build a bridge in Montserrat. It'll stand for 100 years. Are you with me?
Look,
Certainly are.
I am on YouTube. Let me tell you, I never heard of this until today.
Okay.
This is amazing stuff in that construction world. OMG. 3D,
Yeah.
the Icon 3D, literally printing a building.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're
and
printing
the
a building.
They figured it out. Like that technology has been around about a decade, but now they're able to put that nozzle with the arm reaches out like 80 feet from one point, and it's still pinpoint accurate because they put on the nozzle this thing, you know, on the cameras in the airplane, they have a thing called a gimbal that keeps the stability of the camera. They got one of those on that nozzle, so they know, the computer knows exactly where that nozzle is, and like within a millimeter. It's super accurate.
Wow.
And the other thing about it is you can print the building lights out. You don't need lights on. You can print it all through the night. Nobody is even, you can watch, but this is automation to the max. And it's got these needles in it. So it's the coolest stuff you can imagine.
Yes, there's a whole lot of stuff. I do have a little bit of a construction background, so this is very
I could tell that about you. Just look at you. I can see you're a builder.
That's news to me. That's a new talent that we're learning about. The Wade Hall.
I've been a project manager, Mr. Rudy.
There you go. There you go.
Digging my footers, pouring my concrete, doing my rebars, and here we go. All I need are some little rods in 2026 and an Icon 3D printer. Where was that when I was doing it? So that's amazing stuff.
So, it's very, very interesting. And so one of the things is, the typical buildings are very susceptible to hurricane damage. And what we found is that some of the shapes and forms of construction, if they would imitate nature, there's a type of architectural design that's called biomimicry. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
So, for instance, there's nothing stronger than a seashell in terms of its structure.
Okay.
A bone, it's got all this hollow in it, and it's got all these little matrix of connecting strings and so on, and it actually produces the highest level of strength with the least amount of material. So nature builds with incredible efficiency and a lot of strength. So things like coral coral reefs form. They're incredibly resilient to the pressures of the moving, waves in the water and so on. And it's because of the way the structure is built. So we think that we can build some biomimetic, it's called biomimetic buildings with the printer that will be beautiful to live in, that will look like seashells in a certain way.
Wow. Love it. Love it.
Excellent. So Jeremy can give you one minute to round up before we go back.
Okay. So the roundup is our kind of commitment to the blue economy, and that there is no development that we feel is worthwhile unless there is regeneration of nature. And so we are highly committed to regenerating the shoreline. Where there used to be mangroves, we're going to bring back the mangroves. Where there used to be seagrass meadows all around the island with fish and turtles feeding grounds, like meadows underwater, we're going to replant the meadows around, and we're going to rebuild as much as we can. We're going to try to rebuild some of the coral reefs. That's another thing we'll talk about another time.
Yeah.
But we are coming to the island with that one pledge that we will regenerate nature, and the carbon credits will go to the people of Montserrat.
Thank you very much for that. Wayne, is there anything you'd like to say?
Yes. First of all, let me welcome listeners to the Wayne Hall Show, officially began 8 minutes ago. And ladies and gentlemen, on all the platforms that the Wayne Hall Show is heard, we are talking about Volcano Awareness Month. It's being hosted by our partner from Fresh FM Radio London, Mr. Rudi Page. He's got some amazing guests talking about, volcanic activity, the impacts pre and post volcano situation in Montserrat. And so stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. We will get into regular programming in about 20 minutes when this segment is up. But I just wanted to let everyone know and to say how I am learning so much, Rudi, in these, however long this show has been. I have learned a lot. I'm here. If you hear my keyboard, I'm typing, looking up stuff. It's just amazing to hear about the book and the whole survival and the displacement has piqued my curiosity, because I'd really like to know what it's been like for the families after being displaced and so on. But yeah, this is great stuff. I had no clue I was in for this kind of evening. So thank you, guys. And
thank you for that, Wayne. And what we can do in this last 20 minutes, in fact, Dr. Gertrude will be coming back. So we will talk about the impact on families, because I know you do a lot of work around mental health and mental well-being already.
Yes.
And Dr. Schott can also talk about how we focus on the education system and some of the plans that we've got working with. There's a Lloyd Blake who specializes in SEND, so special educational needs and disabilities as well. So again, as I mentioned about being inclusive, this program really has been about that, and maybe we'll get a few words from Lloyd before we finish. And so just before I go back to Dr. Schott, Wayne, I did also say that this program has also been endorsed by the Honourable Minister of Health, Education and Social Services. That's Dr. Ingrid Buffon. So what I'd like to do is to just read out her endorsement statement from the launch, because it contains a lot of vital information which we've kind of touched on so far, and then I'll hand straight back over to Dr. Schott to take us to the end of the program. So from Minister Buffon, I'm pleased to endorse Volcano Awareness Month 2026 and the Volcano Sankofa education framework as an important contribution to education, public awareness, community resilience, and lifelong learning in Montserrat. The experience of living with and responding to the Sophia Hills volcano has generated valuable knowledge across multiple disciplines, including science, health, emergency preparedness, environmental management, and community development. The challenge before us is to ensure that this knowledge continues to inform learning and decision-making for future generations. Volcano Sankofa education provides a practical framework for achieving this objective by connecting evidence and lived experience with place-based learning, geospatial literacy, risk awareness, and cultural heritage. It creates opportunities for learners of all ages to engage with issues that are directly relevant to Montserrat's development. From an education perspective, this approach supports critical thinking, communication, collaboration, and creativity, the essential competencies required for the 21st century. It also strengthens links between classroom learning, community engagement, digital skills, environmental stewardship, and workforce readiness. From a health perspective, the framework reinforces the importance of informed decision-making, preparedness, community awareness, and resilience. These are essential capabilities, not only in relation to volcanic hazards, but also for addressing wider public health, environmental, and social challenges. The Specker KPS Stream Academy provides an important platform for integrating these learning opportunities across schools, communities, and lifelong learning programs, while supporting the development of an accessible digital twin of Montserrat that can expand educational access and participation locally and internationally. I therefore welcome this initiative and its contribution to building a culture of learning, resilience, innovation, and sustainable development across Montserrat. And that's from the Honourable Minister Ingrid Buffon for Health, Education and Social Services. So,
Awesome.
so what we've got there then, Wayne, is in a sense a blueprint for Montserrat from an education, health and social development perspective, all integrated into the broader, what we call the public, private and community partnership, which is essential for the 21st century development.
Right, and for the direction that you definitely would like it to go moving
Exactly.
forward, with everything that has happened. It's great. That's good.
Thank you very much. So we've got just under 15 minutes left. So Dr. Schott, I'm going to hand over to you for the next 15 minutes or so as we pass the baton back to Wayne Hall, the Wayne Hall Show. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Rudi. I promise.
Can I ask you a favor, Ms. Schott?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the displacement impact on the population there, real quick, before you get into.
Real quick, and it's not good. Dysfunctional families, that was obviously the result. And it's because I see that happening because back pre-1995,
yes,
we had what we call nuclear families, and we had families with the dad in charge.
Yes.
Once the relocation began, there was an order from the governor that says senior civil servants could not leave. After we had the Black Monday episode, it was really scary where day turned to night. A lot of people were willing to just leave because we didn't know what would happen in the next minute or hour. So the governor saw the danger and he said, look, All who want to leave, but not senior civil servants. And the senior civil servants included male-dominated workforce, like the police service, for example, the defense force, the port authority workers. So you find all those male-dominated places, the women took the children and relocated. The men remained behind.
Where did they
Now,
go?
the 2/3 of the island relocated,
Okay.
and approximately the same number ended up in England.
Okay.
Now we know that there's a totally different lifestyle in England.
Yes.
And with no fathers around, that created havoc among our population. So I can say that it was not the sort of picture we would like, because the men were understandably absent from the
Yes.
family, and the mothers had to deal with that new situation without fathers around. And teachers like me had to be going from school to school, from one office to the next, to help people to settle in. So
Okay.
I think that's another conversation for another time, because
Yes.
it's really deep, but
Yes.
that's the reason that we had what we had.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. And like I said, if I go back to, I just want to show you give you a flavor of what was done back then with the students and how they felt. This poem is by Tricia Reiner. It's called A Chat with the Volcano, because several of them decide they're going to ask the volcano a few questions. Shanda, are you ready?
Ready?
Okay, Shanda and I will read this, A Chat with the Volcano. Volcano, volcano, why are you doing the island so?
Ha ha ha. I can't help it. I saw nature must go.
I know that, but can't you at least stop blowing?
Well, I'm taking things easy at least. No lava is flowing.
Can't you stop throwing ash so that my mommy can wash?
I need to do that to cool down my stomach in a flash.
Cool down your stomach in a flash? You're fooling me.
Now and then I need to get muck out to the sea.
No, 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 that's not true. You blow almost every day.
You found me out. Now I'll have to find another way.
I need a plain answer right now before you get any stronger.
This chat is good. Can't we continue longer?
Each time you blow, it looks like a sign. I'm trying to show you that you don't have much time.
Sorry, I'm trying to show you that you don't have enough time.
Not enough time? You're getting out of hand.
Now you see, I can't start and stop because your demand.
Should I trust you, my friend?
Sure, it will mean a lot at the end.
Well, Mr. Volcano, stop throwing up your ash because my mommy really want to wash. Tell your
people not to disturb me so I won't have to throw ash so regularly.
Sure. I'll do that as soon as possible.
You had better, or I'll do something horrible.
This is enough. See you next time.
Are you in a hurry? Talking is not a crime.
Wait, do you have a few more words to say?
Listen, child, God knows what to do, so do not worry. God will take care of you.
Thank you. And that's the poem written by Tricia Reiner, her conversation. And that's one of the many conversations that these 10 and 11-year-old had with the volcano.
Yes.
So that's just one of the many conversations.
Brilliant.
That she had. So that's a flavor of what. And if we fast forward to 2024, another sort of flavor, because we realize life changed everything. And again, I'm going to ask Shanda to read. I'm still here. You asked the question about how families fared. What did they do? What happened to them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But they didn't fare too well. And people like Shanda, she acknowledged it in a poem called I Am Still Here in Spite of. So Shanda, can you read I Am Still Here?
All right, this poem is called I Am Still Here. In the book, it's written differently. I'm reading the original. All your stress, your worries, heartaches, you hand me hard times, struggles, yet I'm still here. You try to break me, push me to the edge. You test me and try me. So what if I don't? So what if you don't allow me to succeed? Will I not succeed with God's help? So what if people think bad of me? Will I not rise above it? Yes, you're trying to break me, but you don't stand a chance. No chance unless I give it to you. Must you pressure me? Yes, it's part of my destiny. It is what makes me stronger. With God, I can make it through, for I know that life can't break me.
Yay.
So,
Okay. So here they are in a different island, different everything, and life is breaking them. But Shanda decides life won't break her in spite of she's still around. And that's the flavor you get in the 2024 book, where some of them describe their situation and how they are now as opposed to 27 years ago.
Right.
So I guess that would take a lot more time, but that's just to give you a flavor of what we have been doing. And we met with situations that we never faced in back in Montserrat, and we had to admit, well, this is where we are. Like, we had to be strong, and Shanda decide, in spite of everything, she's a strong Black woman. So Shanda, can you do that quickly?
that's fine.
All right.
You got 7 minutes.
Yes, go ahead, Shanda.
Just bear with me a second. All right. A strong Black woman. My height has nothing to do with my strength, but when I look at myself, I see a strong Black woman. I've been through things that only God knows how I survived. Had broken hearts, failed dreams, mistreatment, but in the end, I am still a strong Black woman. I never knew what people meant when they called me that name, but for going through so much and coming out on top, that's a strong Black woman. Now, no matter what comes my way, I know I'll get through it. I'll hold my head up high with my dignity and my pride because I know that I'm a strong Black woman.
Okay, so it was a different level of strength that was needed to cope with life in a new society. So I think, yeah, so that's kind of the flavor from one book to the other. And that's 27 years apart. And I started off by saying we started as the Kinsale Primary School project. And having worked with Rudi for some time, we merged Rudi's project, Specker, with KPS. So we are now called the Specker KPS project, or the Specker KPS program.
Academy.
And now the Specker, Rudi, can you let Wayne see your logo at the back? Have you seen that logo?
Yes. Yes, pretty much. Yeah,
we cannot see this Specker KPS, but okay. So that is where we are. So we graduated from Kinsale Primary School project to Specker KPS Stream Academy. And I just want to say that Specker is Space Pathways Ecosystem Creativity Awards. That's what Specker stands for. And the Specker KPS is embedded in the Montserrat experience. Out of adversity, we are getting innovations. The Sophia Hills eruption transformed not just the landscape, but it also transformed our lives. And it leaves an indelible mark on our shared memories. So the partnership between Specker KPS, it's transforming the legacy into learning spaces. And we are using the volcanic heritage as a catalyst for scientific discovery, environmental education, and space-related innovation. So we have some broad areas that earth science and geothermal energy, blue economy and sustainable livelihood, cultural heritage and global education partnership, and geospatial and digital ecosystems. So that is where we are, and that's where you got SPEC and KPS coming together. And out of that, we have the Volcano Awareness Month, and that academy is based on 2 African principles, one of Sankofa and the other of Ubuntu. And that is why, if you look behind Rudi, you will notice it's the outcomes of Sankofa education that we are trying to. So a Sankofa education is literally based on indigenous wisdom. And we want to take that wisdom from the past, bring it into the present, and see how we can use that present wisdom and build a sustainable future and sustainable livelihood. So that is why we are using Sankofa. It's just really, it's a Ghanaian derivative, it's Twi, and we're really taking one era into the present, into the other. And we want to make use of indigenous wisdom. So that's why. And we also want to make use of Ubuntu, which is you exist because we are. So we want one big family. Community is so important, as Jeremy was saying. We are building that strong community, and we cannot do it without Ubuntu. We are our brother's people. So that's where we are up to. And for the outcomes, we are expecting a risk literate society where communities understand volcanic hazards, resilience, and informed decision making. We also would like to see a resilient knowledge economy where science, education, heritage, innovation, and sustainable livelihood are connected by the threads of Sankofa and Ubuntu. We also want to see a global center for small island volcanic religions positioning Montserrat as an internationally recognized leader in volcano education, community development, research, and sustainable livelihoods. So that is what we are expected to get from the Sankofa education and from the Stream Academy. And there's something I like to say before I hand over to Rudi. Again, behind him, you would have seen Stream, and you're wondering, have you seen that stream behind Rudi?
Yes.
Wayne?
Yes.
Okay. And you see a little tiny R in between there?
Yes.
Okay. As tiny as it is, it's the most powerful thing there, because STEM, as you know, is science, technology, engineering, and maths.
Right.
And that was graduated to STEAM as science, technology, engineering, arts, and maths. But research has shown that the success from these two is not as rapid, is not as great as they would have liked. And we have decided something is missing. What is missing? That little R. So we advance from STEM to STEAM to STREAM. And that R, little as it is the most powerful, is responsibility.
Ooh.
And it's responsibility at all levels of the education system, all levels of life. Because if you're not responsible citizen, no way you can have personal and national development. Never mind sustainable development.
Exactly.
So stream, that R, tiny as it is the most important in that stream. And that R stands for responsibility. And that's what we are about. And I would now, if Rudi, I know my 7 minutes may be up, so I'm turning it over to Rudi.
Excellent.
Rudi,
Yes, go ahead.
Before you put the final say on everything, I just want to say real quick, I was quietly hoping I was guessing right with that R meaning resilience, because that's what I'm hearing from that first book of poetry to the second book of poetry, from Babes to Prodigy, the first one being From the Mouth of Babes. Resilience rings throughout. And even with the technology that Mr. Morelli outlined, it is such a triumph of technology, right? It is such a triumph of technology to see that transformation and helping to solidify in that sense what is happening, what needs to be happening to take you forward with sustainability. So everything just came together so nicely, and I really appreciate you sharing this with the platform tonight. And so, Rudi, I hand it over to you for your final say, and then we will continue with the Reynolds Show as normal from this point on. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Wayne. And I would just like to thank Professor Schott and her colleague Chanda, and of course Jeremy Morelli, with such great scientific and very practical way of explaining such a complex background, but necessary, that all should understand and get involved. So thank you very much, Wayne. And I look forward, or we look forward to seeing you again in a few months' time with an update. And just to let everybody know that we will be doing awareness days in other cities around the UK, and eventually in Boston, Hartford, Atlanta, in Florida, in Toronto. Even if it's online, we believe it's important that all the population groups where monstrations are, they have an opportunity to access this program, Volcano Awareness Month.
And Lloyd had so much to say about his sin that we didn't realize we were out of time, Lloyd. So we'll have to get you on another time.
So we will certainly, in fact, what we'll do, Lloyd, just very quickly before I hand over to Wayne, we do platforms around the area of Sen. So we'll certainly ensure that we do something, come back with Wayne and do something special on that. So thank you very much all, and
please.
Fresh FM Radio London and the Wayne Hall Show always working together. Back to you, Wayne.
I gotta do this. You gotta hear this.
Fresh FM Radio London.
There you go. And
you are listening to The Wayne Hall Show, where information meets music.
Right. Thank you so much, everyone. Really a great segment. Happy to have been a part of it. And I'm sure my audience is enjoying it. Thank you, and have a great rest of the morning.
Thank you so much. Thank you on behalf of...
for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Recording.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me come to my main screen. Okay. All right. Okay. So we're going to segue into the Wayne Hall Show as we're used to it. Yep. Let me just hear this a little bit. Make sure all right.
Your life, your music.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks again for your patience this evening. An interesting start to the Wayne Hall Show tonight. We were talking with some guests of Mr. Rudi Page, Fresh FM London, as we recognize Volcano Awareness Month in the island of Montserrat 31 years later. And from the mouth of babes from babes to proteges, great theme, resilience, responsibility. So it's now my pleasure to continue with the Wayne Hall Show by bringing the man, the myth, the legend. The man just goes around and collects awards, ladies and gentlemen. the ER guru, Mr. Anthony Turner. How are you, sir?
Yes, Wayne, how you doing, man? Good night. How is everything? How is Atlanta?
I am doing well. Atlanta is doing okay. We're 84 and sunny. The heat, is on.
Well, let me ask you something. That game with Argentina, was it against Egypt? That was in Atlanta, right?
Yes. Yes, the game with Argentina was in Atlanta. Argentina versus Egypt.
I'm wholly responsible because there was a lot of missed calls or incorrect calls, and even the VAR system, which really was brought in to ensure that there's fairness and so, with the eyes and ears for stuff that the referee cannot see. It seems like it's being counterproductive and it's actually being used against some teams.
Amen. Amen. And I tell you, it breaks your heart when you're a real fan of the sport to see the work that the Egyptians put into that goal that was taken away from them. The days you let the ball travel all the way to the next goal, they score, and then you're like an afterthought. Messi saying something to you, and then you look at Messi's penalty. Messi is the aggressor. He's the one who threw his left foot at the ball, and the force took him down. He's older, and then he gets a penalty. It was Messi to ball.
Is not something inherently not fair because to me VAR really came about, or part of the reason for having VAR is if there's some dispute about a call or to really bring clarity to some of the situations. And as you're saying, if there was a foul, even if it was a foul that was committed, you allow the entire the players to go the entire length of the field, and then you're gonna go back and look at something. And it's questioned never in any case, and then disallowing a goal. No, that to me is not that's not the reason for VAR.
And like you said, you would think that this measure of looking at replays and going through stuff like that would have actually made the accountability aspect of running the game better. It's made it worse because now we can actually use it to an advantage, because in the past, part of the natural process of sports is to let it play on because we're all humans.
Exactly.
You won't see every foot on an ankle. You won't see every hand slapping a face. You're not going to see every single thing that happens. But part of it is that sport, okay? Are we going to run a 4x1 relay one day and then just call everybody over to the side and say, wait a minute. I think we saw where your foot was on the runner next to you laying in the first leg, or something like that. Might not be the best example, but that whole process of letting it flow, that goal should never have been called back. The referee should be able to look at that replay and stand by what he said.
If that's the case, then get rid of the referee and try to keep him with VAR. We don't need a referee. The whole point is that, the referee has final jurisdiction. So if he allows a play, then you allow the play to go on. So I can understand for like offside situation.
Right.
The VAR can, make a good ruling, or if it's something in the box and you're saying that something that the referee is not sure about or he didn't see, then you can use it. But not for 100 meters or longer. You're going to go back and look at a play that the referee never called and it was never an issue. And now you're going to make it an issue.
But as the Rasta podcast said, that I saw after, FIFA means the Football International Federation of Argentina.
But do you know that two of the officials from Argentina are being investigated right now? The president and I think it may be the secretary, they're being are investigated for a 300 million alleged some misappropriation of funds. So it's a lot of things that are taking place, and I personally think that game should be replayed.
It should, and then also, I even if we don't play the entire game, there should be a way for this to be made a 3-all tie, and we play the 40 minutes of
The
extra
overtime.
the overtime. Sorry, overtime is 30 minutes, right? 15. Play the 30 minutes of overtime, and if we need to, we do some penalty kicks and say this is justice. But to just give that game away after that, those guys worked so hard for that goal. It should at least have been a draw at the end of extra time.
Yeah.
Or
Anyway,
regular time.
One other thing I wanted to just quickly, I know we're running short of time. We certainly want to send our condolences out to the family and friends of Mr. Stephen Francis, who passed away recently. And the important thing, I mean, outside of Stephen being easily one of the greatest, if not the greatest athletics coach of all times, when you look at the pedigree, the list of athletes that he has coached, from Shelley and Fraser, Safa, Melanie Walker, Elaine Thompson, Michael Frater, Bridget Foster, Sherika Jackson, Lester Carter, Jerome Stinson, Karen Stewart. One of the recurring themes is that a lot of these athletes were not star athletes when Stephen took them under his wings. In some cases, were C&D athletes, list athletes, and when you think about Elaine Thompson, who really wasn't a star athlete coming out of high school, and he took her and made her into one of the greatest athletes of all times. So we have to celebrate Stephen for his accomplishment. 28 Olympic medals, 56 World Championship medals. That to me is it's unmatched. It's definitely one of the greatest achievements any athletics coach have accomplished.
Well said, and I concur. The thing about Stephen is he wasn't without his fair share of controversy, and the thing that I always default to though is he had a formula. He had a formula, Anthony, and my greatest fear is that formula might have passed on with him.
Yeah, that's the thing.
There is that part of how we do and what we do that sometimes we can't give to someone else. And Jamaica is not short of expertise in coaching in track and field. However, you think there had to have been something special about this guy, that he was able to take athletes, transform them into world beaters the way he did, and just kept it consistent. It wasn't one. It wasn't two. It's a host of athletes who were so happy to be able to prep themselves at home that, it has to be highlighted as a unique talent and contribution to the whole track and field environment and space. And so that won't be filled. I don't care how we try. That's not something you take up a book and
not
read.
Easily replaceable. And I just wanted to acknowledge the role that the great Dennis Johnson, who was a 100 yards record holder, the role that he played in grooming Dennis, because it was his initial vision, and he took him on, took Frano under his wings, and really helped him to see somebody get involved with coaching, because it's not that Frano started out as a coach. He really was involved in the business, finance, and being an analyst. And for him to have transitioned into sports and to have accomplished this much, it really speaks to his genius and his rare
that's
talent.
The word, genius.
All right.
And Anthony, before you go, let me tell you, back to the World Cup real quick. I really want to just voice about that, the phone call made to the head of FIFA. I just don't like the fact that a precedent was established in the World Cup, because I can't believe there's no world governing body that cannot say to anybody who called them that we don't want to start that precedence. The rule is what it is. We'll take a look and then we let you know. But to just reverse it takes away something from the sport too. And I feel like a lot of sentiments went with Belgium after that. And even the players themselves, a lot of them, because of their value system, struggled with that game. They really struggled with that game because of everything that was going on. And in the end, I think soccer won, though. So I just wanted to throw that 2 cents into the conversation, man, because that's not the kind of way you want sports decided. You know what I mean? Yep.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, man, a lot.
Lots of stuff.
All right. Yeah, man, so you take care. Have a good rest of the week, and we talk again next week.
All right, Sir Anthony. Love you as always with this report. Love the report, sir. And as always, thanks, my brother. Catch you next time.
All right.
Take care.
Yeah, man, you take care.
All right.
Hi. Are you looking for a tutoring center where your child feels supported, confident, and ready to learn? You have found the place. JP Lloyd Learning Center. We are proud to share that we were voted best of Gwinnett in tutoring centers. This honor means so much to us because it came from the parents, the families we served. Here, we don't just tutor, we build confidence, we encourage, and we meet students right where they are. Come see why families trust us. We can't wait to welcome you to JP Lloyd Learning Center.
Get your items shipped to and cleared in Jamaica from right here in Atlanta. E&W Shipping, conveniently located at 4764 Hammer Mill Road in Tucker, is the best when it comes to ship and clear. That's right, ship and have it cleared hassle-free. For ship and clear, a TRN number is required for security purposes. E&W Shipping also offers the fastest way to ship to the Caribbean. Logistics you can count on, people you can trust, picking up your shipment, and a 30% discount for returning residents. Telephone 770-524-8663 to receive your quote and schedule your pickup. Visit their website at enwshipping.com. It's E&W Shipping, fulfilling all your export needs. KD's Productions presents Uno Think Me Did Done. KD is back with a night of comedy, music, and Caribbean vibes on Saturday, August 22nd, 2026 at the Empress Oasis event venue, 3376 Highway, Douglasville, Georgia, 30135. Featuring Jamaican comedian sensation, Comedian Lemon.
I said you have some woman from Jamaica, when them beg a credit, and you send credit to Jamaica, get not take it and call you. But the first call you get from them is please call me. It is wrong. The songwriter assassin, verse 21 to 37. Say a idiot.
Live performance by Anthony Steele. Hosted by KD, actress, poet, and entertainer. With music by DJ Mikey Sparkle. Doors open 6 p.m., showtime 7 p.m. Early bird tickets $65. Get your tickets now by scanning the QR code or visiting eventbrite.com. For more information, email kds.productions@gmail.com. Sponsored by KD's Premium Juices, GB Roofing Inc., Golden Crust Douglasville, The Wayne Hall Show, Golden Crust Marietta, First Class Barber Lounge, and Andrews Caribbean and Seafood Restaurant. It's a KD's production. Uno Think Me Did Done. The Oneness in Christ Apostolic Church presents their back to school giveaway on Saturday, July 11th, 2026 from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. at 4340 North Henry Boulevard, Suite 132, 150 in Stockbridge, Georgia. Featuring back to school supplies giveaway, blood pressure screening, sports physical for back to school, and general safety tips from sponsors the Henry County Fire Department. Free food and drinks available. Live streaming by the Wayne Hall Show. Brought to you by our proud sponsors Victoria Mutual Building Society, Nally Daily State Farm, Oneness Caribbean Market, Dutch Oven Caribbean Restaurant, Dr. Marvin Wint, National Healthcare Unlimited, Master Barbershop Hampton, Head to Be Clean Barbershop, Grace Kennedy, and Flavor Favor Hampton, Georgia. It's the Oneness in Christ Apostolic Church Back to School giveaway on Saturday, July 11th, 2026. See you there.
Sweet, sweet Jamaica.
If you're craving a real taste of the Caribbean, the flavors you grew up with, the ingredients that make your meals feel like home, then welcome to Caribbean Marketplace. At Caribbean Marketplace, we're proud to serve our community with 3 convenient locations across the metro area. In Latonia at 2618 C-Max Cleveland Boulevard. Our Atlanta location at 5790 Old National Highway. Or stop by our Douglasville store at 6920 C Douglas Boulevard. No matter which location you visit, you'll experience the same authentic Caribbean vibe and quality selection. Brands like Grace, Lasco, Walker's Wood, Chief, Maggie Seasoning, Beta Pack, and many, many, many more. We offer a wide variety of Caribbean produce, including yam, green banana, breadfruit, callaloo, chocho, and scotch-buttered peppers. And when it comes to ackee, we are the only ones that carry 14 different brands of ackee, like Linstead ackee and Spur Tree, just to name a few. If you're stocking up for your restaurant, wholesale is available. For more information, visit CaribbeanMarketATL.com and connect with us on social media using hashtag CaribbeanMB. So come shop where quality, culture, and community come together every single day. That's Caribbean Marketplace.
Join us for the official launch of Ashes to Armor Women's Movement on Saturday, July 11th, 2026. 977 Main Street Northeast Suite, 9, I Conyers, Georgia. 30012. Doors open at 5 p.m. Program begins at 6 p.m. Tickets are $65 and dinner is included. Bring the family. Ladies' formal attire for more information. Call us at 404-566-0059. Email help@ashestoarmor.org. Tickets are going fast because your story isn't over.
Stayed awake all night.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, good evening. Thank you to everyone who's tuning in to the show right now. If you're on Fit FM 96.7, Trelawney's Radio, your life, your music, your ears, welcome. Thank you for the attention. Fresh FM, Radio London. That was an awesome segment there with Mr. Rudi Page. Linkage 101.75, New York. YouChooseRadio.com. You can't lose when you choose radio.com. All right, DJ VJ Smiles, Russ Dougal, the family. Yeah, man. Also want to say big shout out to Hype FM, The Right FM. Yes, Hype FM, The Right FM. And Clark TV Network, big up on yourself. Twitch, yes, everybody watching on Twitch. If you're on YouTube, big up yourself, Super Peck. What's up, brethren? Shout out to Super Peck. Also want to shout out Auntie P. Doc, good to see you. And everyone else checking us out over there on YouTube. Shout out on TikTok. Yes, everyone on TikTok, thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome to this edition of the show. Facebook, got to shout out Curtis Clark. Max Poet, welcome Max. All right. And everyone else over here on Facebook. First Lady Michelle, I see you. Good evening. Welcome. All right. And I think I might have covered everybody there. Okay. It's a marathon for me tonight. Started at 7 with a look at Volcano Awareness Month in Montserrat. And very interesting information. Boy, I learned a lot in that segment. Yes. And so right now, we would have had on the show right now, Miss Carol Chue, but I think I'll just try her over the phone since I'm not seeing her on YouTube. But in the meantime, let's get some music going.
force against me, just stand in my way. No. Yes, I walk through the valley of my foe. He showed me my enemies, cause I would never know. That's the reason I pray. Almighty guide me all the way. I feel me God not stick, cause when them come with the trees, me not be use no fist. Them get a righteous whip now. No force against me, just stand in my way. No, 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 no force against me.
Kenny Blessing says, no force against us shall stand in our way. And at this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome Miss Carol Chue of Ashes to Armor to join the conversation right here on the Wayne Hall Show. We don't have a lot of time, but we got to tell you about Saturday, July 11th. Carol, welcome. Good to see you.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
All right. So the big day is Saturday, the launch of Ashes to Armor. Tell us about that.
First of all, I just want to say thank you, Mr. Hall, for having me here on the radio show this evening. I am super excited to introduce to some. My name is Carol. Everybody know me as Evangelist Chue, and I'm here to invite each and every one of you to the official launch of Ashes to Armor's Women Movement. I am proud to be one of the founders and visionaries of this phenomenal women's ministry. We don't really call it so much a ministry, we call it a movement. And I'm excited to be a part of it.
Very good. And I did have the flyer up just now, so the audience got to see while they listen to you introduce yourself. Motivated by and very, very personal, of course, right?
That's right. I was saved from 16 years old. And during that time, God has allowed me to have so many, they say life be life, and I guess that's the term that the young people use. So with that, God allowed me to have ups and downs, and sometimes, certain things happen in my life, and I didn't realize that God was strategically lining me up for such a time as this. So this movement is personal to me because it shows me God's goodness and that God never fails. So I'm now, as a woman of God, going to go back into the highways and the byways to reach his daughters, to teach them about their identity in Christ.
Amen.
And so much. Amen.
Amen with that. And so let me go back to the flyer while you tell us about Saturday and why this is so important that we support this.
Well, I thank you so much again. So it's this Saturday, and it's going to be right here in Conyers, Georgia. The tickets are $65 per person. We ask everyone to please try to get your tickets now because it's going to be more at the door. Why this is so important to me? Because this is how would I say it? This is actually my way and God's way of sharing it with the world, something that was already bestowed on me years ago. So this is just like going out and just showing everyone that this is what God has in store. Why our ministry is so different, because when a woman is in need of things and she have children and she have certain things and needs, she's not going to hear about God's goodness if her children are hungry. So we're going to meet them right where they are. We have people lined up in our ministry, lawyers, doctors, ministers, evangelists, mothers of the church, that we're going to be able to meet them at their point of need. We're going to meet them with the physical, and then we're going to incorporate the spiritual.
Very good, very good. And this, ladies and gentlemen, starts, the doors open at 5 p.m. on Saturday. The program itself begins at 6. A meal is included with your ticket. And so please go ahead and reserve your seat today. You can scan that code and submit payment and all of that. So Ashes to Armor, the official launch. And not only are we serving a very divine reason here, but you're going to get some very divine entertainment as well. Tell us quickly about what the entertainment will be like.
It's a star-studded lineup. Yes, we have Tracy Ann Francis. We have Debbie the Worshiper. Hopefully we'll have Cassandra Gloria. We have Rashida singing the Alabaster Box. we have we're going to be doing a ceremony that we're going to be we call it the Anointed 12. So 12 women we're going to be honoring in the community that's been pillars of the spiritual or the church world, that we're going to honor them, because sometimes we don't honor the people that's the closest to us. So we're going to honor them that day. And also, it's not only a dinner, it's desserts, hors d'oeuvres, appetizers. It's the whole works. It's like a five course meal.
I love it. Good.
So it's just not a dinner only, Jamaican style,
Okay, and this is in Conyers, so it's Main
That's
Street,
right.
Conyers, 977 Main Street.
Mm-hmm. So it's 977 Main Street Northeast, and it's Suite 9I, and it's Conyers, Georgia, 30012.
That's right. And just leave a phone number or email or something that anyone with a question or
So if you want to purchase your tickets, you can actually do it by Zelle, right? And that is Velvet Bean ATL at Gmail. That's, we'll give you more information.
Join us for the official launch of Ashes to Armor.
If you want to reach out to us directly, you can call one of our representatives at 404-566-0059. 404-566-0059, and our email is help, HELP, at ashes2armor.org.
Awesome. There you go. You did it. Short and sweet. You made it. Thank you. I know you're very busy. Looking forward to seeing you on Saturday.
Busy is an understatement, but thank you so much for having me, Mr. Hart. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Join us for the official launch of Ashes to Armor Women's Movement on Saturday, July 11th, 2026. 977 Main Street Northeast Suite, 9, I Conyers, Georgia, 30012. Doors open at 5 p.m. Program begins at 6 p.m. Tickets are $65 and dinner is included. Bring the family. Ladies' formal attire for more information. Call us at 404-566-0059. Email help@ashestoarmor.org. Tickets are going fast because your story isn't over.
Stayed awake all night.
All right, so there you have it. Ashes to Armor, ladies and gentlemen, happening at 5 p.m. on Saturday in Conyers, 977 Main Street. It's all about helping the woman. Ashes to Armor is about helping women, young and old. It don't matter. As long as you're a woman and you can benefit from a great woman organization, there you go. Check out Ashes to Armor on the website. All right. So, yeah, we're a few minutes behind. As you know, we started with that segment with Fresh FM London on Volcano Awareness. But I feel like we're good enough. We're within 5 minutes, so that's great. We're going to bring you our next guests. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Jamaica. This is Jamaica has their fundraising event coming up. Let me find that flyer for you so that we can show that off a little bit when we get there. This is Jamaica. Yeah, there we go. Countdown to an unforgettable night. 12 days to go. Well, it's probably less right now. But it's Friday, July 17th. And look, we got some of the performers on the Zoom. And so I'm going to go on over and I'm going to say good evening, ladies.
Good evening. Good evening, Wayne. How are you?
I am well. Good to see you both. One moment here. Let's see. I was just checking if I was leaving anyone out. No, I guess more may or may not join us, but
yeah, Nadine is expected to join us.
Okay. All right. Very well. We will proceed, however. Let's see here. I know I had a lot of information from speaking of Nadine. So we're gonna get into just some of our guests. All right, so we have Dr. Andrea Thorpe. ladies and gentlemen. And let's see here. I was looking for, okay, there we go. Andrea Thorpe. All right. I even have her. Look, I have your, good. Pediatrician. She's a pediatrician, community leader, educator. Born in Kingston, Jamaica. She received early education at Woolmer's High School for Girls, University of the West Indies, Bronx Lebanon Hospital in New York, where she did her residency in pediatrics. And over the course of a distinguished career, she's spanning more than 3 decades. Dr. Thorpe has held several senior leadership positions as medical director of multiple programs, first in New York for 10 years, Daytona Beach, Florida for 30 years. All right. And in terms of community service, she's a dedicated servant leader. She's been a proud Rotarian since 1996, spearheading impactful initiatives in schools and beyond, including an international water project in Guyana. That's right. And she has received the Rotary International's highest honor, the Service Above Self Award. She's involved in the arts and culture. She's been involved with the Peter Gracie Poetry Competition since its inception in 2020, serving as its main organizer. Faith and Church, she's an active member of Kettering Baptist Church in Dunkers, and Dr. Thorpe teaches adult Sunday school and serves as vice president of the Women's Federation, reflecting her deep commitment to faith and fellowship. She's the proud mother of 2 accomplished sons, both graduates of Harvard Business School, and they all reside here in the U.S. So that introduces one of my guests. And so let me start with you, Dr. Thorpe. How are you?
Oh, I am fine. I'm fine. Can you hear me clearly?
Loud and clear.
Great, great. How is my picture? How is my lighting and all that stuff?
Loud and clear, bright and beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad to be on your show.
Yes, and we've done some work together. So it's good to see you. Yes, with This is Jamaica. So beautiful. Do tell us, from what perspective would you like to share with us this evening on This is Jamaica event and the organization in general? You might want to just tell the audience a little bit about This is Jamaica.
Yeah, let's start. This is Jamaica. Mr. Peter Gracie, the very famous poet, entrepreneur. He's actually the founder of This is Jamaica, the organization. And This is Jamaica poetry competition actually started in 2020. This is our 6th year of having a poetry competition. And the reason for the poetry competition is because, we think the arts, when it comes to involving children in the arts, is a way of empowering kids to get involved in their culture and to express themselves. So This is Jamaica poetry competition started 6 years ago, and the poem by Mr. Peter Gracie called "This is Jamaica" is one of the main feature. Every year the kids would recite that poem, but this year we're doing something completely different. I was here in Jamaica October 28th.
Yes.
2025. Hurricane Melissa actually passed directly over my house. We got the eye of the hurricane. And I've lived in Florida 30 years, so I do not mess with hurricane. I have a lot of respect. But I saw the devastating effect of Hurricane Melissa. I lost a part of my roof.
Yes.
And Trelawney got hit. I live in the Trelawney area. And what we're doing this year, we said, there's no way we can allow Melissa to go by without focusing what effect did Melissa have on the children in Jamaica. What effect? So let me tell you a little story. Sometimes a story is worth 1,000 words.
Yes.
So like a month ago, a mom came to me and she said, Dr. Thorpe, I don't know what's wrong with my 5-year-old son. Every time the weather changes, if it's going to rain or there's a wind or there's thunder, he starts screaming and crying, and he comes and he clings on to me. In fact, he's so scared now at night he won't get up out of bed to use the bathroom. He wets his bed. What's going on with my son? He's never been like this. So I said to her, how long has this been going on? And then she said the magical word, since Melissa. And so this is post-traumatic stress being witnessed by hundreds. I must tell you, the following day, I was speaking to my trainer. He's an adult, 50-year-old adult, and he loves children. So I was telling him the story of this little boy, and he said, so what did you tell the mom? And I said, why are you asking me? And he said, you know why? I am going through the same thing. Whenever there's lightning and there's thunder, I have a flashback of Melissa. So this competition, and I'll talk more about it when, as we go along, this competition is really trying to get the kids to express. We're trying to see Melissa through the eyes of Jamaican children. And this is why in 2026, we have kind of gotten away from the regular competitions, the special edition. I'm going to talk more about the competition itself, the wonderful prizes. But 2026, seeing Melissa through the eyes of the children, powerful, and we need to do it as a corporation, as a company.
Yes, absolutely. And that little story there, you're right, says a whole lot about a whole lot of individuals, children and adults. And we could paint a broad label on it and say post-trauma, but that sums up one of the effects of Melissa, the impact on all.
And later on, I'll talk about how children, how they trauma, how do they handle trauma, for people to realize that children are not small adults, but I'll let other people come in and I'll go more into that, as we go along.
Awesome. Want to welcome Madam President Dixon of This is Jamaica. Welcome to the conversation. Dr. Thorpe was just taking notes, giving us that overview of what This is Jamaica is about, the poetry competition, and also outlining the impact she personally felt in Jamaica. All right, so let's introduce our other guest here. Let me jump over here and introduce Sophia Holder, MAED. Sophia Holder, certified life coach, women's empowerment speaker, community leader, program manager, strategic and results-driven professional with over 20 years of experience in human services and community leadership, brings a multidisciplinary perspective to the field, specializing in leadership, program development, training, and policy. Strong focus dedicated to fostering growth, resilience, systemic change. Leadership and community engagement. As the co-founder and the president of United Barbadians in Georgia, she plays a pivotal role in fostering community engagement, cultural enrichment, and innovative empowerment. She has previously held leadership roles with several community organizations. A lifelong advocate for global learning, she participated in Mercer on a mission, Senegal, West Africa in 2008, where she spent 2 months studying the histories, cultural linkages, and socioeconomic realities of Africa and the African diaspora and globalized world. Commitment to women's empowerment, she's dedicated her career to bridging educational gaps, supporting underprivileged families, and equipping individuals with tools for success. She's the founder of Mothers Who Are Thriving, a program recognized for its excellence in maternal mental health support, trauma management, and self-sufficiency coaching. Her dedication earned the Raising the Bar Award and feature in the DHS Child Welfare DeKalb County newsletter. Currently, as a mother and parent liaison with the Georgia Department of Family and Children's Services, a program recognized for its excellence in maternal mental health support, trauma management, self-sufficiency coaching. She develops, implements, and oversees programs that support mothers at various stages of parenthood. She's responsible for facilitating program evaluation. Education, she has a Master of Arts in Education, Curriculum Instruction, a Bachelor of Science in Human Services, The Master of Arts in Education, Central Michigan University, Bachelor of Science, Human Services, Mercer University, Certified Life Coach, Certified Nurturing Parenting Facilitator, Certified Train the Trainer in the state of Georgia, and a Georgia State Teaching Certificate. She's been featured in Bold Journey, Voyage Atlanta Magazine for Leadership, Mentorship, and Social Impact, Raising the Bar Award, Mother's Way, our Thriving Motherhood program, honored with multiple accolades for excellence in service, leadership, and performance, awarded Distinguished Student Award for Academic Excellence. Personal philosophy, she's driven by a mission to uplift and inspire. Sophia continues to make an impact by mentoring women, leading organizations, community initiatives, and advocating for cultural and social advancement. As a mother of two, she balances professional excellence with personal fulfillment. All right. Her motto is life fully uplift, embrace life fully, uplift others, and never stop dancing. And Sophia, you recently had an honorary doctorate recognition as well. You want to tell us about that? That was none here.
I didn't even know this is the one, the bio that you have. I apologize to your audience. Oh my God, you could have said Dr. Sophia Holder, the honorary authority, and that would have been it. That's it. That's all we need.
Well, you know, Madam President, very detailed, so I made sure I kept up with all that. So
yes, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Yes, I recently got my honorary degree in leadership, humanitarian and leadership, and that was a great honor, surprise, but nonetheless grateful. And now we're here, keeping it moving to support This is Jamaica and their wonderful fundraising project. I just love everything this organization stands for. So when asked, I could not say no, right? Honorary Jamaican, bringing my whole
from
vision.
Santa Cruz.
Yes, from Santa Cruz. You know my place. Yes. We got hit by the hurricane hard there as well. You know, my people are still rebuilding. So the fact that they're supporting that cause, it means a lot to me to be here tonight. Thank you.
So tell us about what's happening with you and This is Jamaica on July 17th.
17th. Well, I will be making a special guest appearance and bringing to the audience our mother Sally from Barbados, right? One of the things I love about This is Jamaica is the cultural pride that is exuded in the poem and the way all the kids recite it and the difference, how they put their own personal spin. So when asked, I thought to myself, I gotta bring Barbados in that same special manner, right? And there's no better way than to bring it than Mother Sally. Mother Sally for Barbados, she represents fertility, that she's the epitome of feminism, right? There's a lady with big bosoms, small waist. How Shanae says it, neat in the waist and pretty in the face and neat in the waist.
Slim in the waist. Yeah.
Yes. So that's Mother Sally. So she will be showing up on the 17th and giving you a very sweet taste of Barbados.
Love it. The Bajan Sally.
Yes, the Bajan Sally, breast and all. She will be fully there.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Madam President, you did not send me your bio.
Sorry, guys, I had not intended to join, but at the last minute, but I'll send you one and you can read it after, right? It's much shorter.
Okay. But she wears many hats, very active and busy in the community, very vibrant member of the Atlanta Jamaican Association, and now president of This is Jamaica. She is also, all right, let me leave that right there.
Former board member of Clarendon College.
There you go.
Atlanta chapter.
Yes.
And wearing many hats.
That's right. So, Miss Nadine Dixon, president. So, give us the latest and greatest. How are we looking for the 17th?
So for the 17th, we are so excited. One of the things Miss Sophia mentioned is that she's going to bring Miss Sally. So for those who don't know, Miss Sally is similar to Miss Lou. So for us, it's Miss Lou, and for them, it's Miss Sally. So you can just imagine she's going to bring it full circle, guys. We're also gonna have Kene Blessing. He's a producer, he's an artist, he's gonna be performing for us. We also have the latest director of the Sugar Canes, Jerome Gordon, and he does a little poetry. He sings as well. He plays the drum. So it's gonna be fantastic. And then we also have Karen or Katie. She actually does a lot similar to Miss Lou. So we're going to have both Miss Lou and Miss Sally doing their thing, guys. So definitely, if you're into storytelling, if you're into cultural awareness and just want to touch base or even bring the kids so that they're more enlightened on that cultural aspect, this is the place to be. It's Friday, the 17th of July at the JVC Party Rentals. It's actually 7 to 9 p.m. It's not 8 p.m., guys. Let's be clear. It's going to be 7 p.m. I know we do have a tendency to get to place late, but it's a quick 2-hour program. It's going to be fulfilled. And of course, our main highlight is going to be the founder, Peter Gracie. He's not going to be in his capacity as a founder or the Jamaica diaspora representative. He's taking all those hats off and he'll be representing as a poet. This is his passion, everything. So he's just like breaking loose, guys. So he's also very vibrant on social media. He's on Instagram, he's on Facebook, TikTok. You name it, you can follow him there, but he has a lot to say and a lot of poetry, and he's doing new stuff right now. So we're just excited. This is going to be his first time in Atlanta. He's performed in Florida and other places, but this is our time. Atlanta is going to get him to see his performance. So guys, just come on out. I'm just so excited.
Yes, and all of Atlanta is. Can we speak to the impact that our donations from this event will make?
Oh, definitely. So one of the things that Dr. Thorpe did mention is that there are still communities that are impacted. So some of the proceeds from this, we have actually started last year. We actually did hygiene products to a specific school last year. So some of the proceeds from this will go back to continue our mission with that, and also to help scholarships, towards scholarship and other things. But definitely we are passionate about students and giving back to students and making an impact.
Very good. Do you want to comment on this aspect, Dr. Thorpe, about that, just that overall impact that we're trying to have on our young ones back home?
Yeah, let me jump back in here. You know, as I said before, children are not small adults, and you know, Melissa, to them is totally different than how adults handle this catastrophic hurricane. For one thing, you know, we as adults have coping skills. You know, over the years we've figured how to cope with different situations. For these kids, was the first time they actually experienced something as devastating as Melissa. And you know, most Jamaicans were not prepared. You know, most Jamaicans laughed at this hurricane. Nothing is going to happen. Blah, blah, blah. And of course, the kids were not prepared for what happened. So what's happening right now is there are many kids who are suffering this trauma, this post-traumatic syndrome. We started hurricane season June the 1st. So you hear about hurricane. So how did these kids actually, what did this hurricane actually do to kids? There's a lot of anxiety around.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of kids are anxious.
Yes.
The least little wind, the least little whatever, it brings back the memory. Remember, these kids many were displaced.
Yeah.
They lost homes. They lost their friends. You know, they weren't going to school anymore. the routine was totally disrupted by this hurricane. Many had to go on and live with strangers. Food supply. Sometimes school was the only place they got food. So all that was disrupted. Parents are still not working. And these kids are here. And guess what? Adults don't tend to speak to children. It's as if we adults taking care of things. No one is listening to the children. So where are these kids going? How can they somehow relate to what happened to them? So this particular competition, we would like to hear what's going on in the mind of children. Children have a whole lot to say, by the way, if you listen to them. So it's in one way it's going to be therapeutic for them to express what's going on. But for us, let's hear what's going on. We're hoping to reach as many children as possible. And we're hoping through this fundraising, not only to get money, but spread the word that children all over Jamaica can try and enter this particular competition. So let me tell you a little bit more about the competition at this particular time, because it's very, very important. It's open to children in Jamaica from age 7 to 17.
Right.
7 to 17. We're going to have two different competitions, one in poem and one in storytelling. So these kids can actually submit videos, either poem or a story about their experience. It has to be authentic. It has to be original from the children. We don't want AI generated stories. We don't want adults being the predominant, person coming up with these ideas. We want to hear from the children. If we think it's AI or adults, we disqualify those videos completely. We want to incorporate as much of the art as possible. So although it's storytelling and it's poem, if you want to add some dance, if you want to add some music, whatever you want to add in the art.
Yes.
Something very important. We accept both languages, English.
Yes. Okay.
And
yes, please.
But it's a language, guys. It's no whatever English, whatever. It's one of the most beautiful way to express yourself.
Then I must.
So we're going to accept it in English and in patois. But
very good.
Whatever language you use, it has to be distinct and it has to be clear. Man, I want to hear some of these kids talk patois. Man, can you imagine? So it's age 7 to 17 video. They're going to submit videos. We want people to on September the 26th is when we need to get in all the registration. October the 24th, we want the videos to be submitted. And we're going to have this competition early December. Let me tell you something. I was in Jamaica for Christmas last year. We never have Christmas. All the kids who were devastated on the west side didn't have Christmas. And all the people on the east side were just so concerned about those on the west side. So we're going to have the prizes. First prize for each category is $1,000. Can you imagine that?
Yes.
Second prize, $500. Third prize is $250 for both poetry and for storytelling. Something we added this year, we want to get the schools involved. So the school that submit the most contestants in poetry is going to get $500.
Awesome.
School that submits in storytelling is going to get $500. So the school needs to be. So what we're hoping, the winners will get their money before Christmas, so we can have a fantastic Christmas.
A better Christmas than we did last year.
Yeah. So I've kind of pointed out the age group, video submission, authenticity is extremely important. And we really want as many kids as possible to enter this competition. There are guidelines. If you go to our website, there are guidelines. In fact, I'm sure our president would mention it, but this is Jamaica.org. This is Jamaica.org / competition. This is Jamaica.org /
scholarship.
Scholarship. Sorry, is where you'd actually go to get all information. But this is therapeutic. If kids can express what they have gone through in this form, it's going to actually help them to get rid of
Yes.
some of this anxiety.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so TIJ is really putting itself out to make this something that the children in Jamaica can actually get involved in, and we'll do something to help them through this catastrophic hurricane.
And I tell you what, I just had a segment, the first segment of the show was about commemorating the volcanoes of 1995 in Montserrat.
Mhm.
And the books that were mentioned was one that they had the children write.
Wow.
It was called Out of the Mouth of Babes.
Wow.
They had to have them, just like you're saying. I'm listening to you and it feels like I'm right back in that spot. And I'm glad I wrote this down, Out of the Mouth of Babes. And then, because it's 31 years later, they gathered together last year and wrote part 2 of the book, which were poems the kids wrote about their experience with the volcano. And they called it From Babes to Proteges and Beyond. And
Wow.
are embarking on a different set of poetry now to say how that last 31 years has impacted their life. And so I'm listening to you and I'm like, all right, here we go. This is Jamaica is on point. Because yes, the kids need that outlet. They need that coping mechanism that comes with, it's a form of journaling, right? If
Yes.
you want to get really into the therapeutic language. It's a form of journaling and it's very therapeutic. So it's good to know they can do that and themselves, along with their schools, can get some money, some
So
US
when-
currency out of it.
When you tied this segment in perfectly, both things just so
know.
interrelate. So kudos to you.
That is this in one evening. I would never have guessed this. So different. But
I know. Before you go though, Wayne, I just want to acknowledge our sponsor, GB Roofing, that was kind enough to come on board to sponsor the fundraising. So just wanted to make sure I give kudos to that team.
awesome. All right, very good. So, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Sally going to meet Miss Lou.
Yes.
It's gonna be Kenny Blessing, Dr. Jermaine Gordon, and it's gonna be an amazing evening. So
Don't forget Mr. Gracie.
and the legend, the living legend, the poet, the man behind it all, Honorable Peter Gracie, ladies and gentlemen. So please scan that QR code. There it is on your screen. Get your tickets. Go out and support a great cause. They really put this money to good use for young people in Jamaica, and I applaud This is Jamaica for doing this. So thank you, my awesome guests. We are a little over time, but we were a little behind anyway, so we're still good. Anything else to wrap up?
Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it, guys.
Appreciate of you helping us out here with our This is Jamaica as an honorary Jamaican.
Yes,
From Santa Cruz.
And
From
at
Santa
UBEG,
Cruz,
we
it can
say
be
you big, we big. So it's an honor to be here and be big with all of you guys. This is
That's
a great movement. I love it.
On the
We need to hear
17th,
from the children. We need to hear from the children. Come on, kids, let's hear from you.
That's right. That's right. Will do. All right. Well, you have a great rest of your evening, and thank you so much.
Thank you again. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
Join us for the official launch of Ashes to Armor Women's Movement on Saturday, July 11th, 2026. 977 Main Street Northeast Suite, 9, I, Conyers, Georgia. 30012. Doors open at 5 p.m. Program begins at 6 p.m. Tickets are $65 and dinner is included. Bring the family. Ladies formal attire for more information. Call us at 404-566-0059. Email help@ashestoarmor.org. Tickets are going fast because your story isn't over.
Stayed awake all night.
Get your items shipped to and cleared in Jamaica from right here in Atlanta. E&W Shipping, conveniently located at 4764 Hammer Mill Road in Tucker, is the best when it comes to ship and clear. That's right, ship and have it cleared hassle-free. For ship and clear, a TRN number is required for security purposes. E&W Shipping also offers the fastest way to ship to the Caribbean. Logistics you can count on. people you can trust, picking up your shipment, and a 30% discount for returning residents. Telephone 770-524-8663 to receive your quote and schedule your pickup. Visit their website at enwshipping.com. It's E&W Shipping, fulfilling all your export needs. KD's Productions presents Uno Think Me Did Done. KD is back with a night of comedy, music, and Caribbean vibes on Saturday, August 22nd, 2026 at the Empress Oasis event venue, 3376 Highway, Douglasville, Georgia, 30135. Featuring Jamaican comedian sensation, Comedian Lemon.
I said you have some woman from Jamaica, when them beg a credit, and you send credit to Jamaica, you not take it and call you. But the first call you get from them is please call me. It is wrong. The songwriter assassin, verse 21 to 37, say a idiot finger.
Live performance by Anthony Steele. Hosted by KD, actress, poet, and entertainer. With music by DJ Mikey Sparkle. Doors open 6 p.m., showtime 7 p.m. Early bird tickets $65. Get your tickets now by scanning the QR code or visiting eventbrite.com. For more information, email kds.productions@gmail.com. Sponsored by KD's Premium Juices, GB Roofing Inc., Golden Crust Douglasville, The Wayne Hall Show, Golden Crust Marietta, First Class Barber Lounge, and Andrews Caribbean and Seafood Restaurant. It's a KD's production. Uno Think Me Did Done. The Oneness in Christ Apostolic Church presents their back to school giveaway on Saturday, July 11th, 2026 from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. at 4340 North Henry Boulevard, Suite 132 150 in Stockbridge, Georgia. Featuring back to school supplies giveaway, blood pressure screening, sports physical for back to school, and general safety tips from sponsors the Henry County Fire Department. Free food and drinks available. Live streaming by The Wayne Hall Show. Brought to you by our proud sponsors Victoria Mutual Building Society, Nally Daily State Farm, Oneness Caribbean Market, Dutch Oven Caribbean Restaurant, Dr. Marvin Wint National Healthcare Unlimited, Master Barbershop Hampton, Head to Be Clean Barbershop, Grace Kennedy, and Flavor Favor Hampton, Georgia. It's the Oneness in Christ Apostolic Church Back to School giveaway on Saturday, July 11th, 2026. See you there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and that last ad there about the giveaway, the back to school giveaway taking place this Saturday, is what we're going to talk about next. So I'm going to go over to Zoom. Let me go over to Zoomland and say hello and welcome. I see I have Miss Nally Daly, Dr. Marvette Wint, and I thought I had Patrick. Where did he go? All right, let's see. I thought I had him. Let's see. Nope. Okay. All right. It's showing me 5 persons. 1, 2. Hold a moment. Let me track down. Let me track down somebody here. Yeah, Patrick's iPhone. I thought I admitted you before. Did you jump back out? There we go. I found him. All right, guys. Good evening and welcome. How are we doing?
We're good.
Okay. All right. We hear you, but we don't see you. We don't know if that's intentional.
Yeah, I'm driving, and so
Oh, shh! Don't tell nobody. Luckily we have State Farm. You're a good neighbor.
Yeah. So we got to keep our eyes on the road so we can kind of
It's okay. Our good neighbor is here. We'll take care of you. Don't cause us to. Don't need us though. Don't need us. Ladies and gentlemen, these are representatives of the Oneness Apostolic Back to School giveaway taking place on Saturday. We have representing Oneness Apostolic Church, Patrick Mullings. You could tell me your official title. We have Dr. Marvin Wint and a sponsor, Miss Nally Daly. I think Dr. Marvin Wint is also a sponsor. You could remind me.
I am.
Thank you. All right. There was something else I was going to do back here. Yep. Okay. All right. There we go. So, welcome, guys. Let's talk about back to school giveaway. And who wants to get us going?
Well, let me get us going.
Okay.
So my name is Patrick Mullings. I'm one of the elders at Oneness in Christ Apostolic, and we are indeed happy and excited to be sharing with the community and putting on this event to give back. And just want people to know that we are not just here for the spiritual aspect, but we are here also to take care of the physical. Jesus did, and so we are just following his example. Our project lead for this event, missionary Sharon Thomas, she's having some difficulty with technology at this time. So hopefully she'll get to join later. But she was having some difficulty connecting to the Zoom. So apologies coming from her for that, not being here. Yep.
Okay. All right. That's fine. We also have the flyer up on the screen, so folks can see the information we're talking about. I see we're getting more folks joining us. Let's see. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but this is a fluid moment, so we go with the flow. All right, I might have to move my flyer now. Okay, let's see. I'll put it in front of my face. Nobody has to see me right now. But let me go on over and admit everyone. Somebody else joined. Let's see. Okay, we have everyone in there, I guess. Were we waiting on a Shireen, you said?
Yeah, she's still trying to figure it out.
Okay.
Hopefully she'll be
All
able
right.
to.
I think she just made it.
She did. Awesome.
Yes. All right. Okay. So I'll hide my flyer for now. All right. So there we go. I think we're good. Anyone else we expect to join us?
I think that's it.
That's it. Good night, everyone.
Okay, that's it. Thank you. Good night and welcome. All right. So Elder Mullings was telling us about the fact that we need to take care of both the physical needs along with the spiritual needs, and was going a little bit into Saturday. So were you through? I got so into getting folks checked in that I can't recall if you make
yeah, because I don't want to start preaching now, so I'm through.
Okay, all right. And so tell us about the inspiration behind this then, because ladies and gentlemen, as you can see on the flyer, there is a lot happening on this day here. And, just share with us about the day itself, how it's going to unfold.
All right, I'll step back and allow missionary Sharon Thomas to share information, since she's the lead on this project.
Okay.
So we'll allow her to say her piece.
Okay, sounds good.
Good night. Can you repeat the question, Mr. Hall?
No, just tell us about what Saturday is going to look like for those of us who would like to support this event.
Okay. As you know, my name is Shireen, and I do serve as the president for our Oneness in Christ Apostolic Church right here in Stockbridge. It is always a blessing, to serve our community and just to help in any way that we can possible. This event is an event that we're expecting a great turnout. The purpose of this event is to be a blessing, to families and to our community. We know that, preparing children to go back to school can be very expensive at times. We live in a community where there are a lot of families that are, low-income families are. So we want to just help to ease some of that burden by providing backpacks and back-to-school supplies to our valuable community, and also, other resources that will help not just the children, but families as well.
That's right.
And I can also say that Oneness in Christ Apostolic, our
Yes.
church, we believe that ministry goes a long ways. It goes beyond the four walls. You know, it's not just coming to church on a Sunday or Wednesday or Friday and just worship, but we do believe in giving back and pouring back into the community.
Very good, very good. And it's a good stretch. It starts at 10 a.m. It goes until 3. And it looks like there'll be a lot of opportunities for things other than even just the school products. We have sponsors who will be having their tents up and everything and sharing information, a couple of whom are here with us. Want to start with Miss Nally Daly. Miss Nally, tell us about your affiliation with the Back to School giveaway.
Absolutely. Good evening, everyone. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is
Is
there.
there. I love it.
Yes. So when I actually got associated with this group a couple years ago, and it is always my pleasure to help support the mission. I do know Elder Mullings, I do know Sister Shireen, and they have demonstrated a care and loving for their community. And what better way to build up, and especially our youth, which is the next generation, and then go beyond that and reach the entire family? You don't find that in a lot of communities. So when I was approached to partner, I quickly raised my hand because I believe in what they're doing.
Awesome. And that's good. And tell us about what so you'll be present, I take it, and what are some of the services we can look forward to learning about?
Absolutely. Now, everybody knows State Farm as home auto life insurance. I'm one of the few State Farm agents that's also an investment advisor. So, just like how Oneness Apostolic is feeding not just the soul, but the body, I take care of the generational wealth and making sure that our families are equipped to pass on something to the next generation. So I'll be there, and my staff will be there as well to educate the community on generational concerns.
Thank you for your support, Miss Nally Daly. We
Yes, sir.
appreciate
It's my
it.
pleasure.
Also with us, Dr. Marvet Wint. And it's so funny. Somebody was telling me today, Dr. Marvet Wint taught me in school, something like that, I think. I hope I'm not misquoting. So, welcome. Thank you for supporting the event. Tell us a little bit about your background and what we can expect there. Please unmute. Please unmute. Unmute so we can hear you. Yeah, down there.
Okay, there we are. Okay, now we got it.
That's right.
Okay. Yes, I know exactly who that is. That was my grade 7 son. I taught him way back when. I can't tell you because it'll age me.
I know, right? Yeah,
Yes,
let's leave that out.
I taught him when he was in grade 7. So
Exactly.
I'm a part of the OCA group that we have been doing this back to school drive. What I do is I provide screening, health screening for sports, the psych sports medicine just for children. I would love if the parents would bring the forms. I do everything, the hearing, the
Wow.
eye screen, the physicals. I do get help from some people, and I must put this plug in from the Atlanta Montego Bay sister cities. They'll be
Okay.
sending me some people because I'm the chairperson there. So
Yes.
they'll be sending me some people to help me with the vital signs and so on. So I am from a school where you give to get. So the more I give back, the more blessings I'll get, and I'll always be giving.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, thank you so much for supporting this great cause. And looking forward to that as well, because the Wayne Hall Show will be there. We'll be making sure the world sees and hears what's happening down there on Saturday.
Anything else we want to add, Miss Shireen or Elder Mullings, Missionary Shireen?
We just want to share that also, not only that we're going to have our lovely sponsors with us, but we will also be having free haircuts. Free braiders will be there as well to give free braiding to the young girls as well.
Oh,
And
nice.
we also will be having Miss Wanda Wigner. She's from the Justice of Jugs Department, and she will also be there to educate our young people on, what's going on right now in our society.
Beautiful.
And there will just be lots and lots of surprises as well.
Okay, and I think I should share with the audience, be mindful of the address, ladies and gentlemen. It's 4340 North Henry Boulevard, Suite 130 to 150. This is in Stockbridge. Again, 4340 North Henry Boulevard, Suite 130 to 150 in Stockbridge, Georgia. Anything else?
Just want to add, we're on the lower level, so when they turn in, it's a shopping plaza. So when you get in, you got to come straight in and get to the lower level. We do have shops at the top, and we're at the bottom.
Very well. Very
I
well.
just also want to add that we also have Victoria Mutual Building Society out of Jamaica. They have presence here in the U.S., and we'll have representative. Correct me if I'm wrong, Shireen. We should be having representative from VMBS also.
Yes, we should be having representative from VMBS there as well.
Right. And so people are more equipped to talk about some of the products and what they're coming to offer than I can. So go ahead, Sharon.
Okay.
You were going in and out just a little bit, Elder. Can you repeat that, please?
I was saying that you're more equipped to talk about some of the stuff that VMBS should be doing or be offering on the day.
Okay, so on that day, if you are interested in opening up a new account, or if you have an account that you have already opened back in Jamaica and you just wanted to do some update or just to check if that account is still up and running, the representative will be there to assist you with that. If you're interested in any mortgage loan or buying a house as well, they are going to be there to answer all that question.
Awesome. And I see Dr. Went with her hand up. But before I go back, let me just run down the list of our sponsors. We have Victoria Mutual Building Society, Nally Daily State Farm, NNS Caribbean Market, the Dutch Oven Caribbean Restaurant, Dr. Went with National Unite Healthcare Unlimited, Master Barber Shop out of Hampton, Georgia, Head to Be Clean Barber Shop, and Flavor Favor out of Hampton, Georgia. We also have Grace and, of course, the Henry County Fire Department. So make sure we highlight all the sponsors. And Dr. Wint, you have your hand up.
And another sponsor would be Spectrum Health Services.
Okay.
They're affiliated with Arrowhead.
Awesome. Spectrum Health Services as well. Great community support there, Oneness in Christ Apostolic Church. I'm very happy to see all the involvement and support, and look forward to sharing the energy with you on Saturday.
Amen.
All right. All right.
And,
thank you.
One more thing before we go in.
Else to add?
Yes. So I would be remiss for me not to give this out. So we are inviting the community to come out and worship with us. We have our main service on Sundays. Sunday school starts at 10, and they worship at 11 a.m. And we do have Bible studies Wednesdays. And every second and fourth Fridays, we have youth endeavors, our young people gather and showcase their skills and so forth. So people are encouraged to come out. Of course, it's important to talk about the soul. So we want them to come and learn about Jesus Christ and learn about what salvation is and what is in store, what good stuff is in store when you accept the Lord as your personal Savior.
Very good.
All right. Awesome. Awesome. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. That's the Oneness Apostolic. And the address for the church is the same one on the flyer, correct? 4314 North Henry Boulevard?
Yes.
Okay. Very good. Suite 130 to 150 on the lower level. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Looking forward to Saturday. Thanks for all you do. Thanks for the love that's coming out of this project. And I look forward to being a part of it on Saturday. Good night.
Thanks for
Thank
having us.
you.
Appreciate it.
Okay. Good night.
Bye-bye.
All right, there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. So we are 4 minutes away from what would be a normal ending time of the show, but I received some songs on the Hill and Gully rhythm. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I received some songs on the Hill and Gully rhythm, and guess what? They are gospel songs. They are not the stuff that is making you turn up your noses and scream and feel like, oh my gosh, what am I listening to? I have gospel music on the Hill and Gully rhythm. And so I'm not leaving here this evening without playing them. So here we go. This first one goes like this.
You see all of y'all out there talking about church boring? I don't know which church you've been going to. You see my church? We have a little thing we call Jesus Party. Over yes the one, over this the one, over yes the one, over this the one, over yes the one, over this the one. Christian, send them come, yes Lord. Send them come, oh. Send them come, mighty God. Send them come, we have to do God work. Send them come, I don't know, a long time. Send them come, send them come. Cut and clear. Send them come. Set up yourself if face the temptation. Cause you they go get whole heap of adoration. From all the things where you mash out the nation. Crime and lust plus all is corruption. Now we are gonna talk about the one day Christian. Go Sunday service, them never miss one. When you check it out, enough of them still a live wrong. Some of them need some Bible education. Send them come, yes Lord. Send them come, oh. Send them come, mighty God. Send them come.
That's right, none of us what we say.
Send them come, I don't know, a long time. Send them come, send them cut and clear, cut and clear. Send them come. Now we are gonna talk about the bad breed pastor who no one cut out them bad behavior. Them all a flirt with all the church sisters. Granny say them things they don't belong in ya. Yawn they a service and people are yawn. That simple mean the pastor lukewarm. Can't blame pastor for everything we go on. Who do not even know no scripture in a song. Send them come, yes Lord. Send them come, oh. Send them come, mighty God. Send them come, we have to do God's work. Send them come, I don't know, a long time. Send them come, send them cut and clear, cut and clear. Lord, when we have all the problems, only God can solve them.
Stephen Murphy.
When we feel in pain, I got alone ease the
Through the hill, through the gully. Let's go.
Through the gully, when the road get rough and muddy.
Hey!
Thanks and praisefully. When I stop serve God faithfully. Come me know say me don't win me victory. Over trials when life come bring to me. We have to trod through hills and through valley, so we can reach our destiny. Sometimes life feel like it flip on a flap. One, hold the faith till you get to the top. You get in attack, your bills due, money you lack, and disappointment come, but God have your back, God have your back, God have your back, God have your back. When the road get rough and the sky turn black, every turn, every attack, God lead you forward, don't you look back. Through the hill and through the gully, when the road get rough and muddy, we still a give thanks and praisefully. When I stop serve God faithfully, come me know say me don't win me victory. Over trials when life come bring to me, we have to trod through hills and through valley, so we can reach our destiny. Negativity, you know we have to burn that bad mind energy. We not gonna preserve that. Burn down fear, put with faith in a gear. We now want the enemy round here. No room for hate, no room for that. No room for nothing for knock way off track. All when the enemy a try launch him attack, me stand up firm because God have me back. Through the hill and through the gully, when the road get rough and muddy, we still a give thanks and praisefully. When I stop serve God faithfully, come me know say me don't win me victory. Over trials when life come bring to me, we have to trod through hills and through valley, so we can reach our destiny. again. Count your blessings. That's right, count your blessings from the hill and valley right.
Kwale Simba, what we say? Count your blessings.
Count your blessings. If the Lord done something for you, stand up on your feet. If the Lord done something for you, stand up on your feet. You know to clap your hands, stomp your feet, shout hallelujah. God's been good to me. Got up to something and me don't know what, so me moving forward and me not stop. Straight movement, no flip flop. The roadie long gully, but the lion and drop. Running with Christ up on Jah hilltop. When the chopper man inna the shop, I chop chop. Father God always bless me, make me turn up on this solid rock. If the Lord done something for you, stand up on your feet. If the Lord done something
Somebody
for
says
you,
what a
stand up
difference.
on your feet. You
That's right.
Clap your hands, stomp your feet, shout hallelujah. God's been good to me.
Hey, hey.
Things get rough and the road get hard.
Hey.
Jah never leave us, he's never far. Jah love is so endless.
Hey,
He never leave me defenseless. Go through the struggles and me gain for me scar. And me know how the legacy a war. Jah fight is relentless, so the lion knows say that him bless. If the Lord done something for you, stand up on your feet. If the Lord done something for you, stand.
Genius, him no dead. No.
Hey,
him no dead.
what we say?
Him no dead. Lord, Lord, Lord. Hey, genius, him no dead. No. Him no dead. Oh, him no dead. Lord, Lord, Lord. Jesus died on the cross on Calvary. That's how him purchased salvation for everybody. Money free of cost, you know I fee have no money. Money come with rata, with the mansion, milk and honey. Follow me now. Hear me, miss a mention for you to then go a hell and no master.
Lee Priest.
So him put that on life before you, you better wake up.
Him not
Make
dead.
your mind and choose one. Jesus is the better option. Switch to the narrow road and left the bad one. Get temporary pleasure then condemnation. Jesus died on the cross of Calvary.
Amen.
That's how him purchased salvation for everybody.
Hallelujah.
Free of cost,
Yes.
no fee and no money. And he come with rata, with the mansion, milk and honey.
Hill and Gully.
So in the profit, you nothing to gain the world and lose your soul. In no matter where we are, we are going to end up in the hole. Every position you own, you coulda done, you coulda own, you coulda reach, you coulda go, you better keep in control. Hear me good, you know who down there. We are all pretty fire, they down there. But the best news is that you can choose, get eternal life and a crown. Yeah. Jesus died on the cross on Calvary. That's how him purchased salvation for everybody. Money free of cost, you know I fee have no money. And he come with rata, with the mansion, milk and honey. When you listen to me well, and no lie me I tell. Jesus Christ is the way and the truth and the life, him no dead. When you listen to me well, and no lie me I tell. Jesus Christ is the way and the truth and the life, him no dead.
Woo! All right, to the nitty gritty end, ladies and gentlemen. That right there is the gospel segment on the Hill and Gully Ride. We heard from Lee Priest, Him Not Dead, Kwale Simba, Count Your Blessings, Stephen Murphy. Stephen Murphy said, through the hill, through the valley, anonymous, send them come. More to come. And what do you think about this in response to the kind of lyrics we've been getting so far on the Hill and Gully Rhythm? A refreshing change for those of us who would really like to enjoy it but can't stand the other kinds of lyrics out there. Nothing against them. That's their product. But I'm glad now we all can partake of Hill and Gully. All right, those of us who had a rough time with the lyrics. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening and watching an extended version of the Wayne Hall Show this evening. Shout out to Rudi Page and Fresh FM Radio London for embracing our platform and having us share their segment, Volcano Awareness, 31 years reflection. Volcano Awareness Month, a 31-year reflection on the 1995 Sophia Hills volcano that devastated the southern half of Montserrat. Then we gave a big shout out to our guests this evening, Carol Chue, Ashes to Armor. Support them on Saturday in Conyers, please. Also, the Apostolic Oneness Church down there in Stockbridge. Support them as well. We also heard from This is Jamaica. Their event is July 17th. Lend them your support. Did I cover everyone? I think I did. And ladies and gentlemen, continue to like, share, and support at Wayne Hall Show. I want to say shout out to Season Rice, Maxine Lyons. Also want to big up Curtis Clark and everyone else who checked us out on Facebook Live. Everyone over there on TikTok. Okay? All of you TikToking with the Wayne Hall Show this evening. And those of you on my personal page. Miss Hava Mills, thank you for tuning in tonight. Auntie P, I see you. Super Peck. Dr. Polly Reed, I see you as well. Okay, who else do we have over here? Sandra Lewis Glass, thank you for your support. And I said DJ Super Peck earlier. Who else? Am I missing anyone? I think that's everyone. Doc, down there in Florida, thank you for tuning in. All right, ladies and gentlemen, on all the radio platforms as well, it's been a blessing. And until next week, same time, same place, same musical, same blazing channels. This is Wayne Hall saying, see ya.
Hey, genius, him no dead, no, him no dead, oh.